We were talking about it on Friday with you guys. Like, hey, I wanted some style points. Give me some confidence going into this. Certainly didn't get that. But I said today should be about the number one seed, what they have accomplished. They just won 14 games. They're the number one seed in the NFL or the AFC. Bo Nix has tied for the most wins in 2 years in NFL history. There's a lot to clean up. And now we got 13 days to do it. But I think today's a beautiful day to say congratulations to that squad. And the Broncos are back, baby.
That's what makes doing this job over the next 2 weeks fascinating. Because however you want to look at the Broncos, you can look at the Broncos that way. You know, if you want to argue that they're the worst number one seed in NFL history, you can find a way to argue that. If you want to say, you know, the Broncos are back the way that you are, Josh, I mean, you could definitely say that too. We literally talked about this scenario on Friday, and it wasn't about style points for the sake of style points. It was you want to feel good about the football team heading into the NFL playoffs. And I mean, we'll sort through it throughout the afternoon, Phil, but I mean, unsettled for sure for me, but at the same time, you have to acknowledge the big picture stuff because you don't fall backwards into 14 games.
Well, and I told Cecil earlier, there's a couple of moments in this game. You get a 33-yard punt return from Marvin Mims, start at the 45. First down, you get sacked, you're going the wrong way. You get a Benito strip sack, you're in the red zone, basically.
Right.
They go backwards.
Literally.
They lose 2 yards in 3 plays. And then, so those 2 moments, not good offensively. They only have 2 drives that are double-digit plays or more. Both of them did end in field goals, but that's what you and I said. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for these 10-play drives. You control the clock, time of possession, win that battle, and end it with a touchdown.
And you know what? I think that the players were looking for that too. The offense, for sure, was looking for the identity of just going down the field, marching down the field like they did at the beginning of the game, right? That first drive and having 8 or 9 runs, 3 passes, getting into the red zone, but finishing, right? That's what we've talked about this whole time. Finishing these drives with a touchdown. We know that we have a really good field goal kicker in Lutz, but that's not what we want to see. We want to see 10 toes down in that end zone with 7 points instead of 3.
Can I ask you something as a player? Yeah. Zach and I have yet to be a part of an NFL game plan, and I put a heavy emphasis on yet.
You're talking about the MVP now.
Yeah, exactly. He can hoop.
They need my MVP right now.
I might need to play tonight. Don't for me and you bring the ball up.
Everybody's out.
I'll bring it up. Someone set a screen for Zach. I'll pass it to you. You shoot.
Rebounds.
Phil, if a game plan is vanilla by design, is the coach sharing that with everybody on the offense? Like, you guys are all aware?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, when you're watching and going through the week and you start to see generic basic plays like you're in camp, you know, okay, like this is what we're doing this week. And Sean's not going to hide it from you. He said, look, like, we're going to do the little things right. We should be able to beat the second unit with basic plays as long as we just stay within the lines. We stay within ourselves, move down the field and march down the field like we did against the Raiders. And who else did they march against the field? And they had those long drives.
The Packers?
They played good against the Packers. They were good against Dallas with some of that stuff.
Yeah, like so it's just like keeping things simple and doing it the right way and then moving on, getting into the red zone, running, being able to run the ball. I guarantee that was the idea thing to do, right? Was, hey, we're going to get in here. The game plan is let's run the hell out of this football. Get to the red zone, hand it off to R.J. Harvey, let him get his next touchdown, maybe Jalil. And that wasn't the case. But going into the week, it's going to be very vanilla if that is the case, which this seemed like it was the case.
Because I've wondered that, like, watching the game, you see Bo yelling, wake up, let's go, early on. And I'm like, is he doesn't like the way because it is vanilla and he knows it's kind of dummied down, for lack of a better term?
See, I think gosh, there's so much to sort through here. I don't believe that they went into the game saying, okay, hey, this is the game when we're going to run our bad plays. That's not happening. I think it was a more conservative approach. You know, it was not an aggressive approach. And I think that those are two different things. But I've seen some of that, like that speculation that, like, they're purposefully looking like this. I'm like, dude, if you think Sean Payton wants his offense to accumulate 43 yards across 5 separate drives, you're out of your mind. And this was one of these press conferences after as well that you watch it, and if you just watched it on mute, you would think that the Broncos lost. And because you can't, like, again, even if you're going more conservative, which they were, you don't want to be operationally that bad.
Well, it's
not a
didn't start
plan.
that way, though.
No,
And I think when they first started the game, it's like, okay, it's going as planned, right? It's going to be very vanilla, but we do the things the right way. We're better than the second unit. We should be able to do this all game long. That wasn't the case. The Chargers tightened up, and the Denver offense wasn't able to get drives sustained, and the 3-and-out started to come, and there just wasn't anything to this offense this game. So I agree. Like, you don't go into a game, no matter what, saying we're going to have our bad plays, a couple dive plays here, maybe a bomb if we need it. Like, no, there's still a little creativity. But what they're saying is, as long as we do the right little things right, we should win this game.
Yeah, and Sean even said at halftime, he's like, well, that wasn't the half we were looking for. And so, but here's the other thing, fellas. We've watched this team all year.
Yeah.
They don't have a good offense.
I was very familiar sitting where I was sitting watching the game, but it didn't. It's almost like I'm asking you about the player perspective. I want it, and you and I were on the same page on Friday, Zach, and that's just for our mentals of like, I want to feel better about whoever the divisional round opponent is. But it's the same thing. I think it's tenfold on a player's side of it. I've been a player, not at the level you've ever played at or even that you've played at. But, dude, you can't tell me you don't gain confidence from beating up on a younger brother or the JV squad or whatever it is. And I used the example Friday. When I'm at North Glen High School, I was the one getting beat up because I wasn't on varsity. They stubbed their toe. Bring in those guys so we can gain some confidence back. That's all I was looking for.
Yeah, and that's fair, dude. That's fair. This has been a sputtering offense all year long. That's what, like, I'm confused when people are like, well, just wait till he's holding back the playbook. I'm like, for 17 games, like this hasn't been an above average offense.
Hold the playbook back when it comes to being aggressive.
Yeah.
Damn, Cortland only caught one ball, not one ball downfield.
No, they didn't even throw downfield.
Not RJ, but Pat Bryant's another one. Not one ball downfield. It was a bunch of screen passes, a couple slants. Like, that's not Sean, though. Sean usually opens up the playbook, so I will say that it was a lot more vanilla than it will be in the playoffs, at least.
But here's the thing. But like you say, okay, it was a lot more vanilla than it's gonna be in the playoffs. I want to agree with you. I do.
Well, why can't you agree with me?
Because they just played in a playoff game yesterday.
According to Sean.
All week, everyone in front of a microphone, all that they said was, we're approaching this like a playoff game. This is a playoff game to us. Because we know if we win, we're going to be off for 2 weeks. So, like, this is the time right now to figure this thing out and treat it like a playoff game. And so that's what's unnerving, is because you treated it like a playoff game, and they played a handful of backups, and it still looked that way. And when you get into the playoffs, everyone you play is going to be excellent.
Well, they said they treated it like a playoff game, but it didn't look like they treated it like a playoff game, Zach.
But it looked like the Broncos offense on a lot of these days. We just did this with the Chiefs game. We just did this with the Raiders game. So it's like, it's not a one-off. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Is like what happened yesterday is not some isolated incident. Like, they have looked good in against Dallas and against the Green Bay Packers and one other game of Cincinnati when it was against a backup quarterback and whatever, terrible defense at the time. But like, we can count as many games that looked like yesterday as we can count the games where they looked terrific.
So you're telling me, and I have no pushback with that, because you are right. Like, it's not like the offense has been the Rams offense where you have Matthew Stafford throwing for 50 touchdowns almost. So I understand that, but you mean to tell me yesterday was the best version of themselves going into that game?
I didn't say that.
I'm just asking. Like, that was not a playoff approach at all.
I think it was
no aggressiveness.
Zach, I think what you're saying of, like, it carries a lot of weight. Sean Payton, if you think Sean Payton wants to dummy it down and then it look like that and be okay with it, I'm going to tell you don't know who the hell Sean Payton is. Because there's no way. I'm not happy about that. And I'm a nobody. He's drawn up the plays. It's his offense. It's his little baby. And it looked like that. There's no way he's okay with that.
No.
Okay. But look,
he's a crazy person.
Right? The first drive we were able to run. All right, if you go back and you watch the first drive, it was a lot of creativity. Some pullers in front of Jalil.
Yep.
There's a couple pullers in front of RJ, some misdirection. All of a sudden, after that drive, they didn't go back to it.
Well, here's even
was it because it's working?
Well, it's because it's like, hey, like, do we really want to show a bunch of stuff knowing that we're going to probably have to play this team again?
But then that goes back to get Jalil right. then Jalil's
I
a
agree.
weapon.
Look, believe me, I wanted to see more.
And here's the thing. You're acting like they scored on the first drive. They didn't.
Yeah, they did not. No.
And they got down there, though. See, this is why Sean is a genius, and he's a cultural setter, but sometimes he gets in his own way. How did they get that tight into the lower red zone?
Running the ball.
They ran the ball. And what did they do once they got down there?
Threw the ball.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like, what's happening here? Why? It was working the whole length of the field, and then you get down to the tight red area, and it's time to give Bo his touchdown. It's like, I just,
What did Bo
I don't
need?
get
Bo
it.
needed 210 yards, right?
Yeah.
He didn't come close.
He came up 69 yards short.
I mean, goodness gracious. And I mean, and again, so much of that was also later in the game, you know, because even the play that like his best play of the day, he missed Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
That was the best play of the day.
Well, and he's well over 100 short if he doesn't hit Evan on the one in the fourth.
Well,
Yes.
if you see like Romo and them were replaying some of the receivers that were wide open.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
a couple times
Yeah.
where Bo could have had 2 explosive plays that would have been touchdowns, and he just wasn't seeing the field like he has in the past.
Well, the Broncos are the number 1 seed. That is the most important thing here. But we will get into how we're actually feeling about this football club coming up next.
The Broncos took care of business against the Chargers and closed out the regular season with a win. After a roller coaster season, does Sean Payton have his team dialed in for the playoffs? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3, The Fan.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on up. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hey Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. You know, in the game of life, our most valuable asset is our health.
At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan brought to you by Flanagan Law.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's Reaction Monday, powered by Stilter Har Motors. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling. Here on a Monday, January 5th. And a number 1 seeded Denver Broncos punched their ticket for the 9th time in the history of this organization. Mr. Phillip Lindsay, what up?
Woo! Are you kidding me? 14-3?
Psychotic.
Only losing 1 game here at home this year?
Psychotic.
I mean, you have to love it. You have to love it. Now, of course, we're getting ready to break down the game. We're going to have to critique it. So some people out there, don't get so sensitive about it. But, man, everything is out in front of the Denver Broncos, number 1 seed. They get a little bit of rest. Sean, all right, this is when he's at his best. He's been there before where he's had the bye week. He's had time to have his team rest and come up with a great game plan and then go out there, execute that game plan, and win a Super Bowl.
Man, it's so crazy. Everything is possible for this team, all right? And the history of getting the 1 seed, it's so real. That's why, like, going back to like the Sean Payton approach thing, like he kept all the good stuff in his pocket. Like I don't believe that. Now I do think that they would have been more aggressive, okay? But like the history of the 1 seed, it's so tangible. Like meaning like you can measure it. In the modern era, 50% of every Super Bowl winner was the number 1 seed. And so that was a huge deal yesterday. Huge. And so I refuse to believe that Sean Payton just sabotaged the game plan to not show anyone anything.
Like he definitely did not sabotage the game plan, but he stuck with what he was going to do no matter what. They could have easily said, you know what, there's a couple of plays that I want to run, and we know how to run them because we've ran them throughout the year, that we can go in there, dial it up, and come up with some creativity and score some touchdowns. But I think for him, it's like, hey, we're going to stick with this simple game plan no matter what. Why? Because our defense is going to do their job like they always do. You're playing against Trey Lance, who is not very good. Now, of course, athletic, was able to get out of the pocket a couple times, but he was not very good, and we have a field goal kicker that we can lean on, which they did. Now, I'm not saying it was the right approach, but what I'm saying is Sean wasn't going to change the approach no matter what, and that's why Bo was upset a little bit, because the approach that they went into the game with was not working, and now Bo's saying, come on, Sean, let's come up with something creative that we already know. Let's go out there and be aggressive. Let's throw a 50-50 ball to Cortland. That never happened.
Dude, he didn't get his first catch until like 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Insane, man.
It really is insane. So the Broncos win again. The Broncos win ugly again. The Broncos offense is getting booed at home again. Okay.
A lot of agains, huh?
A lot of agains. How are you feeling about this football team today?
Oh, so we're going straight for just the football team. Look, a win is going to be a win. And I'm looking at it as a player, knowing how hard it is. Like I say every single week, all right, we wanted style points, right? We thought that we were going to beat up on a backup quarterback and a lot of players that were going to be in there for the first time. That wasn't the case. Why? Because there's still NFL players that are playing for their livelihood, like I always talk about. But yet, we still found a way to win. We still had control of the game. If Sean really wanted to open up the book, he would have, and we could have scored more touchdowns, Zach. I know you don't want to hear that.
I do not agree. I do
know
not
you
agree.
don't want to hear that.
So you think when they get into the red zone, they're trying not to score a touchdown?
No, I think that in the NFL, you can't sit all your starters. And so they had their starting defensive line out there, which still makes a difference.
The Chargers, you're saying?
The Chargers,
yeah.
Alex Forsythe goes down. That makes a difference. Even though Garrett Bowles finished the game, I heard that his ankle was as big as a balloon. That makes a difference. I mean, things like that, when your offensive line is not clicking and they're not getting the push, it's hard to score in the red zone.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why they didn't score in the red zone. It wasn't like Sean's like, I got 40 plays I can score here. I'm not going to use any of them.
Come on, Zach. Sean has been very creative in the past with the tight end, specifically in the red zone. We didn't see any of that.
I think that they were trying to score and they got out executed by a team that was playing desperate. That's what it looked like to me, that the Chargers defense was like playing desperate.
What did Jim Harbaugh say? We're in the fight.
We're in the fight.
Like, let's fight. We're in the fight. Keep fighting.
Yeah, keep
I
fighting.
Love that.
And there was a lot of fight from that Chargers group yesterday. This was not the Kansas City Chiefs of a year ago. That's not what yesterday was. But also, I think that like the offensive line, you mentioned Alex Forsythe and Garrett Bowles, like they got pushed around yesterday.
They did.
And so I think like that's why they weren't scoring touchdowns. It was a lack of execution, right? Like Bo Nix missed Troy Franklin and he sailed it over his head on the left side of the.
Definitely a lack of execution.
Yeah, like that's what I thought yesterday was about. And I think that for some, and I don't know if you fall in this camp, but for some, and Broncos fans, and I understand fan is short for fanatic, okay, you want to feel better. You want to chalk it up. There's a reason why the Broncos struggled in a way that they did. And I would just say, I think the reason is they played a team that was hungry as hell. I think there might have been a human element involved of we just did this last year and we beat our competition 38-0. We're going to be in the same position. We're back at home. We're off the mini bye. This should be a grooved path for us.
For sure.
And just a lack of execution. And I don't know, man.
See, I can get with you with the lack of execution, Zach, because it's about winning your one-on-one battles. When you are going to be as vanilla as the Denver Broncos were in that game, because they were vanilla, you have to be able to push the linemen around, the one-on-one blocks. All right, the receivers are going to have to get off the line of scrimmage and win on a man coverage.
And they were covered up, dude.
Exactly. Bo Nix is another one, right? Like, you have to be on point and be accurate with the football when there's an open receiver. Now, also, for the offensive line, this was not their best performance.
No.
You had Bo Nix running, it seemed like, for his life at the beginning of that game where Bo Nix looked like Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
I mean, that can't happen. And as time went on, it seemed like they got in that rut and they couldn't get out of it. And Sean wasn't willing to change or be a little bit more creative because he felt like no matter what we do, we're going to move down the field, get our field goals, and lean on the defense like they have the whole year, the whole entire year. Okay, let's make no mistake about it, guys. We've been leaning on this defense to win us games. Now, the offense at times has come along in the fourth quarter and clutch moments, but it's been all about the defense and also the special teams.
Sure. And goodness gracious, I don't know, man. Sean Payton was not a happy camper after that game.
He shouldn't be.
No. And again, I go back to this is not the first time that we've seen this. The Broncos have struggled the same way that they did yesterday. And we're talking about the offense here because we'll get to the defense here shortly. But like, I go back to what I said to you and Josh during the crosstalk. We can count as many games like yesterday's the same way that you can count as many games that they've played well and really shined.
Yeah.
And so to think that I'm just not chalking yesterday up to, hey, the Broncos purposely tied one hand behind their back. I just can't do it.
But can you at least say it was vanilla? Can I at least get that out of Zach By's mouth? Like, it was a vanilla game plan because there was no creativity. I mean, at least.
Sure, I'll go with.
Okay. Because even at least last year, think about it, against the Kansas City Chiefs, where we had to find a way to get into the playoffs. See, I think people tend to forget we had to beat the Chiefs to get into the dance.
Correct.
And that first drive, it was a very creative play to Marvin Mims, where it was a fake reverse, a fake bomb, then it was a dump down to Mims, where Mims was able to scamper and score a touchdown, right?
Okay.
There was no creativity like that in this game. It was like, hey, line up and beat the man in front of you. Let's drive down the field and have these methodical drives that have to end with some touchdowns and a couple field goals, and let's lean on the defense.
But I would argue that the stakes in yesterday's game were extremely similar to last year, in a sense where last year you punched a ticket, you're in the playoffs. This year, you're in the playoffs, but you punch your ticket to the number 1 seed and the historical significance of that.
Did any doubt creep in throughout that game yesterday that was like, damn, like we may lose this game?
Not really. But you know what did cross my mind a bunch of times? Where would this team be right now? What would the temperature be of this game right now had Jaquan McMillan, that football not end up in his hands and him take it to the house? Because you can't plan for that. Like you put together your game plan, but you can't plan for that. And that was everything. That was the game.
Well, technically they did game plan for it because Sean put it on them. He put it out there. Hey, look, you guys need to create more turnovers. And that's exactly what that Denver defense did. And then
but that's a horrible
McMillan
throw.
said
I'm saying that was a horrible throw.
100%. But it's all about with the right mindset of this is what we're going into the game doing. Jaquan McMillan actually said it after the game. Like, they repped that play numerous times, so they were prepared exactly for what Trey Lance was going to do on that play. Now, of course, like you said, it was a bad pass.
It was.
I mean, my man Trey Lance was trying to break the receiver's fingertips. That's crazy.
All right. You can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. Maybe we can get to some of those reactions. Also, what do we make of the current state of the Broncos run game? And could we be in store for a miracle return to the running back room? That's all next.
The Broncos win their 14th game of the season and finished as the number 1 team in the AFC. With an extra week to prepare, will the Broncos move one step closer to a Super Bowl return? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Zach here on behalf of the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about how you're feeling coming out of the weekend. Are you feeling rested, rejuvenated, ready to attack a Monday? Or are you feeling sluggish? You have low energy. You're already ready for it to be Friday, despite the week just starting. And maybe those sleep patterns are off. You don't have the energy to make it to the gym like you used to. And when you're there, you just don't feel as productive. And maybe because of all this, you're putting on weight. Hopefully you're not feeling sad or depressed. Guys, believe it or not, these could all be tied back to symptoms of low testosterone, which does just happen to us men as we age. Go take the low T quiz, though, at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. It's a simple 10-question quiz with yes or no answers. It literally takes 2 minutes. But from there, you can schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They'll draw your blood. They'll have the results within 30 minutes. A Colorado licensed medical provider will review those results with you, discuss your options. Guys, cost of the appointment is just $99. That includes a medical consult, a T and PSA test. And if you end up signing up for testosterone treatment the day of that appointment, your visit is completely free. Fellas, we have one life to live. Don't spend yours wondering if you're suffering from low testosterone. Go take the low T quiz at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may beat your copay price. Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com to save today.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey guys, your boy Steve here today by my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
They said if I got drunk,
if I did coke,
I'd be one of the guys. They said meth would help me get through my exams.
They said synthetic drugs would give me a safe high.
They said sniffing glue was no big deal.
Totally safe.
I could party all night.
It would help me forget my problems.
He said he'd love me forever if I smoked crack with him.
They said I wouldn't get hooked after the first hit.
They said weed wouldn't lead to harder drugs.
They lied.
They lied.
They lied.
He lied. Find out the truth about drugs.
Drugfreeworld.org.
Drugfreeworld.org.
This new year, don't just make a resolution, make a transformation with SodaWeightLoss.com. Clients routinely look and feel 10 years younger like I did when I lost 60 pounds a few years ago with SodaWeightLoss.com, and it's never coming back. And right now, the perfect gift for you both. Look and feel 10 years younger for the price of one. Soda is the #1 weight loss company in America for client satisfaction and results, just like me. Visit SodaWeightLoss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Soda Weight Loss is, say it with me, state of the art.
As the year winds down, Groove Toyota is helping you gear up for the road ahead. And right now, Groove Toyota has stocked over 35 used vehicles under $10,000. Great picks, great value, and perfect for Colorado drivers who want more without overspending. And with Toyotathon in full swing, it's the easiest time of the year to upgrade your lineup with a pre-owned Toyota or another solid used option before the year closes out. Finish the year strong with Groove Toyota.
On Broadway in Inglewood or online at GrooveToyota.com.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Spine One. Let me ask you a question. You live with back pain, neck pain. Well, my guys at Spine One, they're an emergency room for back pain with same-day appointments. They'll see you and they'll get the journey started. And that's exactly what I did. Whether it's chronic pain, acute pain, work-related, sports-related, doesn't matter. All you got to do is pick up the phone and start your journey just like I did toward pain-free. 303-367-2225. That's 303-367-BACK. Or as always, you can find them online at SpineOne.com.
Need a new water heater? Euro Plumbing has lifetime warranties, great financing, and low pricing. 720-500-3000. 720-500-3000.
It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter Har Motors. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
What did we make of the Broncos' run game yesterday?
Where's JK?
Man, oh man.
Where's JK at?
Dude. I'm concerned.
What the hell is that?
I'm concerned.
Well, you seemed a little concerned about the offense and how it was structured.
Yes,
how it was
yes,
structured
yes.
in the mindset of Sean Payton going into there. Now, I don't know if you want to blame Sean or you're blaming, the players out there for not executing, or maybe both.
Yeah, both. Yeah, it's not a one-way street.
Now you're concerned about the run game, which, you know what? I might have to jump on that bandwagon with you because it just did not look good.
No. What are you seeing?
What I'm seeing is, one, the offensive line, just like when it was time to hold up for Bo Nix, was not there. All right, the offensive linemen did not win their one-on-one battles, and the Chargers, who played a lot of their starting defensive linemen,
They did.
were able to handle and keep everything in front of them. R.J. Harvey at times. Now, there was a couple times where a guy comes free and there was just no hole and he gets blasted. But then there was times where R.J. Harvey was not patient enough to let a play develop when you know that when you have these offensive linemen that have to get up from a double team to the second level, you are going to have to play the game so that you can set up the play. And that's why I always say, hey, slow to, and then you explode through. But you have to let it develop, and R.J. Harvey is still learning. And the guy that was actually really good, they didn't run enough, and that was Jalil McLaughlin.
What is happening? How?
You know what's happening. Come on, Zach, you know what's happening. One's a second-round draft pick, and another one is an undrafted free agent who did not start the year off. He was pretty much a practice squad player because Sean thought that Tyler Bidet brought more to the table. But what's happening is Sean's not obeying his eyes and not letting Jalil get into a rhythm. I'm not saying you don't give R.J. Harvey his carries. You can give him his carries.
Sure.
But when Jalil is on fire and he's breaking off 5-yard runs, a 10-yard run, give him more opportunities. Let him eat a little bit more at least.
I do not understand it, and I'm not so sure there's something to understand. Now, just because I'm going to be critical of Sean Payton. This is not like this guy forgot how to coach football, or like this guy is brilliant. Okay, we understand this. All right,
14-3 has his team at 14-3. I mean, come on.
He along with Tom Coughlin and Andy Reid are now the only coaches in NFL history to coach an NFC team to a number one seed and then an AFC team. So I don't want this to get misconstrued at all. Okay, and just to be clear, just to emphasize that, I'll say Sean Payton has forgot more football than I will ever know. But I do know what I know.
And what do you know?
You follow me?
I follow you.
So when you have Jalil averaging, once again, 7 yards a carry. 7.
Breaking a couple tackles. I mean, the first run he got, I mean, it was stuffed in the backfield. He was able to push with the offensive line for another 6 yards.
And here's the thing. It's 6 carries for 41 yards, but not one rush went for longer than 10. So this isn't you had one 38-yard run and then 5 others went for 1 yard. You were producing with each and every carry. So you have one running back who's averaging 6.8 yards a carry. That is insane, okay? And then the other is averaging less than 2, quite literally. And the one that is averaging less than 2 yards a carry got the ball on the ground 15 times, and the one that was averaging 7 yards a carry, more than 3 times the amount that the other running back was, he got the ball less than half of that time.
Like, since Jalil started to really get going,
he's been great.
Jacksonville Jaguars, 5 attempts for 37 yards. He busted off one. Honestly, he could have had one for a 70-yard touchdown.
Was it like 15, 16, wasn't it?
Like 15 or 16 yards. All right, then you go to the Chiefs game. All right, 7 attempts for 40 yards, 5.7 yards a carry, no touchdowns, all right? And then against the Chargers, 6 attempts for 41 yards. All right, he started to really get going. He's running hard. He's seeing the field a little bit better than R.J. Harvey is right now, let's face it. And yet,
it's so obvious.
My man can't get 10 carries. I went into the game yesterday telling you that I believe that Jalil was going to get at least 10 carries.
Yeah.
But he gets 6. He takes the most of his opportunity and gets 41 yards out of it, but he could have probably had 70, maybe even 100, because no telling what would have happened if he would have stuck with the run and stuck with the hot hand with the running back that was running hard and breaking tackles. Or even out of the backfield, Jalil showed a little bit of juice.
He did.
So something has to give, and Jalil's going to have to be a bigger part of the game plan moving forward if we're going to get some type of run game going, unless J.K. Dobbins is going to jump his ass out of the clouds and start looking like he did before the injury, which is hard to believe. I mean, the guy has been out for over a month.
Well over a month.
A month.
When is the last time J.K. Dobbins?
The Raiders.
Was it the Raiders game?
It was the first Raiders game. It was a Thursday night.
Okay, so that was back on Thursday, November 6th. So tomorrow will be the 6th. So he's been out for months, like plural. Okay. Jalil McLaughlin needs to be the starter in the divisional round.
That's coming to your senses, Zach.
That's something that needs to happen. And this is something that we were talking about, though, 5-6 weeks ago after the Dobbins injury, when Harvey was just not producing as a starting running back. Now, Harvey is a weapon. There is a role for Harvey. There is no doubt about it. But I am just unsettled in general about this offense. But if you go into the divisional round and that's the dynamic of what we saw yesterday and that what we've seen too often here, like, look, in 4 of the last 5 games, Jalil McLaughlin has averaged 5.5 yards a carry or more. In 4 of the last 5 games.
He's running well. Like, he has the confidence.
And the game where he didn't, he got 2 carries against Green Bay. Okay? And just for frame of reference, James Cook is going to be the rushing leader this year. He averages 5.2 yards a carry. And I just told you Jalil has averaged 5.5 in 4 of the last 5 games. And then in 3 games in a row, it's been basically 6 yards a carry or more. So
you know what it is. It's a second-round draft pick and a staff that's trying to fit this narrative and try to get this young man confidence by giving him them touchdowns and giving him the opportunities. Nobody's saying R.J. Harvey is a bad running back.
No.
Well, what I'm saying is you ride the hot hand. Now Jalil doesn't necessarily have to start because it's the running back position, and every running back can get a bunch of carries.
Sure.
So if you do want to start R.J. Harvey and let him get a couple carries at the beginning, whoop-de-doo, cool. But Jalil needs to get at least 10 to 12 carries, especially if he's looking like he has like the past 3 weeks.
See, but this is what I don't understand, though. Who started the game yesterday?
Well, both. It was
Who
both.
got the first carry of the game?
Jalil.
So, like, it was an approach of, like, hey, we're going to, like, switch things up a little bit here and be receptive to what we're seeing. And then how many carries did he get before RJ got his first carry? 1.
Yeah.
So you technically start him, in air quotes, you give him one carry. And then it's RJ's turn again. And I just, it drives me nuts because this was a very different set of circumstances, but ultimately it boils down to the same thing. And it drove me nuts with you and Melvin.
Yeah.
Okay? And it drove me nuts with Melvin and Javonte Williams in his rookie year. You can't placate to personality, but you can't placate to draft status. You can't placate to your forecast.
Now is not the time. You have an opportunity of a lifetime, an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl, but you need the best players on the football field at that time. And that's Jalil, who's playing really good football.
Yeah, it's got to change. It's got to change, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic that RJ has gotten the end zone. 12 times as a rookie? I mean, that's incredible. You can continue to use them, but you can't. And it's fantastic that the Broncos are the 1 seed. It's fantastic that they're 14-3. All that stuff is fantastic, but it's now way too important. So I hope they're taking a look in the mirror, because if that is the setup in the divisional round and your run game looks like that, the Broncos are going to be a one and done here, brother.
The run game's not going to look like that. This is where you have to trust me. This is where the creativity comes to play. They are going to put people in pullers in front of R.J. Harvey. And what I mean by pullers, guys, is a guard or a tackle getting out in front of him, so there's a bunch of bodies in front of the running back, so he doesn't have to do as much work when it comes to breaking a tackle, and hopefully you can bust a long one because of that. Sean is going to make sure that the run game is successful because he is going to be creative. He's going to dial things up. The misdirection, the motioning, all of that has to take place because you don't have a J.K. Dobbins that just fits this system and has the confidence and that can read holes and read players like he has. You're going to have to tailor things towards someone like R.J. Harvey and what he does best, someone like Jalil McLaughlin and what he does best, but they're going to have to, no doubt, run the ball if we're going to win a playoff game.
There's no question about it. Okay, we'll circle back to this conversation because I think it's really, really, really important. But first, what did we make of the Broncos' strength yesterday? That's coming up next.
The Broncos followed up their 2024 season by winning 14 games, reclaiming the AFC West, and securing a first-round bye in the playoffs. Are the Broncos destined for a return to Santa Clara for Super Bowl 60? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out how much you can save. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Colorado roads are icy. Accidents happen. When they do, you're in luck with Flanagan Law. I'm Samantha, the personal injury lawyer who stands out from the rest of the guys. Look for the Shamrock. Flanagan Law, your advocate when it matters most.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Imagine your home quieter, cooler, and more beautiful with the new Infinity from Marvin windows. Right now, Gravina's Window Center of Littleton is offering 25% off. These aren't ordinary windows. They're built to outlast, outperform, and turn heads. Family owned since 1973, trusted across Colorado, and they never cut corners. Call them 303-794-0490 or visit windowsforyourhome.com. Don't delay. Quality costs less than regret.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Tune into Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter Har Motors. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
What did we make of the strength of the Denver Broncos?
A backbone.
Truly. How did the vertebrae hold up yesterday?
It was holding. It was holding for dear life, Zach. Look, the defense handled business. They got the turnovers that Sean wanted, that we wanted, a pick 6 from J. McMillian.
Oh, my gosh.
Making some money.
Good for him, man.
Riley Moss had an opportunity for a pick 6. You know, that one went through his fingers. He'll have to get with old Uncle Phil here. I'll teach him how to catch the ball.
Oh.
There we go. I'm sure he's on the line waiting for you.
4 sacks. Nick Bonito could have had 3.
Dude, he could have had 3. He should have had 3 on his own. The first one, he was holding on for dear life till a reinforcement in the form of Zach Allen came to clean it up, but that should have been a full solo sack.
Yeah.
And then the one where he's got him dead to rights, completely wrapped up, and Trey Lance shrugged him off like he was Ben Roethlisberger back in the
Trey
day.
Lance is a big boy now. I didn't know how big he was, but he's slender.
He's got a good build to him. He's 6'4", 225.
But you're right. Like look, you had a chance to have a couple solo sacks to help skew your stats in the right direction, and you didn't get the job done. Now, as a team, they had 4 sacks. They handled business. They kept the Chargers out of the end zone. At the end there, towards the end of the game, they put in their backups. Never put their backups in and almost got scored on. But they did their part. What more did you want them to do?
No, they were great. They were great. And I'm giving Benito a hard time because I want the sacks for him. I literally want those sacks for him. But yeah, in totality, they were pretty smothering. I mean, the leading, very similar to the Broncos run game, the leading ball carrier, not named Trey Lance, because both of these quarterbacks led their teams in rushing. Not what you're typically looking for, but that's how it unfolded. Yeah, but the lead back for the Chargers ended up having 29 yards, and the quarterback throws for 136 yards, and you turn him over twice. I mean, the Benito strip sack was artistic. I mean, that was super intentional. He could have just rocked him from behind, but he knew he had the time to, just masterful. You know what it was like? And this is a cross-sport analogy that's just coming to me in real time. In the 1998 NBA Finals.
1998.
Yes, it was Jordan's last game as a Chicago Bull. And I remember it like it was yesterday, and they're playing the Jazz in Utah, and Karl Malone has the ball on the low block, and he's got a defender at his back. Jordan leaves his man, and he goes all the way around Malone, almost to his front side, to strip the basketball. And he created enough space between he and Malone so it wouldn't be confused with a foul.
Yeah.
And just had the insane intent to steal the ball. That's what Nick Bonito did, man. And it's so good to see because as good as this defense has been all year, did you realize that they went into Week 18 with the lowest turnover total in the history of this franchise?
It's insane. It's insane. And for as dominant as this defense has been, and the sacks that has come with it, it's like, where are the turnovers? And Romo was right. He said usually when you're getting pressure, when you're getting sacks, it usually turns into turnovers. Whether a quarterback is pressured, so he's throwing a bad pass, making a bad decision, or you get a sack fumble. Those are the things that usually happen for you, and it finally happened for the Denver Broncos against the backups. Of course, you have to say it that way, but Nick Bonito, attention to detail, swiping at the ball as he's hitting Trey Lance for that sack fumble, was able to recover it. You had J Mac doing the same thing when it comes to the interception, taking it to the house.
That was so big.
Attention to detail, focusing. Now for Trey Lance, it's like, why are you throwing the ball so damn hard when the guy's 5 yards in front of you? But that's their issue, not ours. I mean, we got the takeaways that Sean wanted. Sean went out there. He put it on the defense to go out there and get takeaways.
He did.
It's exactly what the defense did that helped the offense out, and the offense didn't take advantage of the opportunities.
Here is Sean Payton talking about how important these turnovers are.
Score on defense, 88% winner. Same thing in the kicking game. And it was funny that came up because at some point I said, look, we keep talking about the takeaways. Some of these elite defenses score. And so we kind of gave them the information, and I think I mentioned this to you all. Beginning at 0 when the playoffs start, in the last 25 years, there's only been one Super Bowl winner. Now, beginning at 0, there's been only one Super Bowl winner that finished minus. The 15 Broncos were -4, but then finished, I think, +3, +4. And so you don't get a chance to clean the slate often. But 25 years and only one team, and I've told you the story about the Vikings championship game. They had 580 yards. We had 279. If you watch that game, every time Peterson touched the ball, it was a gain of 8, a gain of 9. 580 to 279, 5 turnovers. And now stay with me. We were +5, and it went into overtime. And so if you watch that game, This statistic at this stage is because it's sudden death. It's not a best of 7. It's not a bust. You lose a game if you're not being smart with the ball. But if you take it away, and tonight was a great example of that. And when we talked about it starting tonight, and so it has to be intentional relative to punching the ball out. That has to be intentional. I thought we rushed the quarterback well and kind of kept him where we wanted him. Look, I would say that one of the key plays of the game was Jaquan's touchdown.
You think?
It was probably the biggest play.
It was the biggest play of the game. I don't even know what would be second after that play. But
Will Lutz with the field goals, I guess.
Yeah. Or honestly, Benito just setting the Broncos up in field position to hang points on the board. So 2 turnovers, biggest plays in the game, you could say. There's so much to that, and we'll get into it throughout the afternoon. But you hear Sean, he tried to make that research. Remember, he talked about the +4 and he fixed his wording because he screwed it up last week. But that is the way to say it. There's only one Super Bowl champion in the last 25 years that has a negative turnover differential
listening to you
during the playoffs, and that's the Rams.
He was listening to you, Zach.
Well,
he said, "Okay, Mr. Smartass, now I got to go there and recorrect it."
Well, he did, and he did a much better job. Okay, what was our single biggest takeaway from yesterday's franchise record-tying 14th win? We'll get to it next.
The Broncos took care of business against the Chargers and closed out the regular season with a win. After a roller coaster season, does Sean Payton have his team dialed in for the playoffs? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and yet the results last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Dr. Tanya Pauls and Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment using your own natural hair. Advanced Hair restores your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning, and they guarantee your new hair will grow for life. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
I'm Rob Wilhite, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has stood beside Colorado families after serious car accidents. With over $1 billion won, we know how to fight for you. Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WillHiteWins.com. That's WillHiteWins.com.
Hey, Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. You know, in the game of life, our most valuable asset is our health.
At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly near and far without any glasses thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at ColoradoRLE.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. ColoradoRLE.com.
Women go through many changes in their lives. And we believe each milestone matters. That every new candle represents another step in your story. Our healthcare experts support women at every stage of life. Because each chapter deserves to be celebrated. Women's health. Nurture what's next. Find care near you at mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health. Human kindness lives here.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice. Because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, a Promenic restorative health practice.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter-Har Motors. Leading off with a big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
1 hour in the books. Quicker than a New York minute. Hanging out with you today on a Reaction Monday. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. The RamosLaw.com text line is open for business. If you want to give us your single biggest takeaway from yesterday's franchise record-tying 14th win, are you kidding me? This is the ultimate two things can be true at the same time, Mr. Phillip Lindsay. The Broncos are a good football team, a 14-game winner, the number 1 seed for the 9th time in the history of the team.
Doesn't get any better than that.
But they also can be insanely frustrating to watch and have a lot to fix before the season hangs in the balance in the divisional round.
You know, it's not perfect. I'm not perfect. Now, Zach, I think you think you're perfect, but you're not perfect either, man.
Not true.
You know, so for the Denver Broncos, they have to clean some things up, specifically offense. Offense has to get better. Now, I don't know if 13 days is going to cure it, but the offense has to sustain drives like they have in the past, but now getting in the end zone, red zone, being creative in the red zone, something has to give if we're going to get to the promised land, which is the Super Bowl. Offense is going to have to do better, man. But I'm going to go ahead and before you even have to ask me, I'm going to tell you, my biggest takeaway in that game yesterday was our defense and special teams is ready to play. And we all know that the defense is the backbone of this team. We all know that the special teams has come up big for us multiple games this year, and they're going to have to come up big for us in the playoffs because usually in the playoff games, it comes down to who has a better defense and special teams with the kickers, maybe Marvin Mims with a punt return that gets you a spark play. Those matter, and I'm comfortable and confident in saying that I know that the defense is going to be ready to play and the special teams is going to be ready to play.
Well, if those two things are a 9 out of 10 in the divisional round, the Broncos can win that game. But the offense just has to take care of the football. It can't turn it over, and it's got to find some level of competency. There was too much incompetence yesterday. And, you know, I think my biggest takeaway is that for this Broncos team, it's never going to look offensively the way that I want it to look. Like, we have been talking about this since training camp, where we were called the haters because we're like, guys, this offense isn't very good, and it's been like 1,000 days in a row, okay? And I remember Sean saying
they were consistently bad. They were.
They were. And I remember Sean saying, hey, like, it's okay if your defense, beats up on your offense for a little bit. You just don't want it to take place all throughout the summer. Newsflash, it took place all throughout the summer. And then when they started the year, it continued. And are there examples to point to where they were the best versions of themselves? Yes, there are. And 3 specifically. Against the Bengals, who's one of the worst defenses, like historically bad. Against the Cowboys, when they were historically bad and had, practice squad guys out there, they were so banged up. And the number 1 game to draw from is the Green Bay Packers game.
You got to throw in the Colts game, because the defense wasn't on their P's and Q's in that game, and the offense went down there. I want to say scored 3 or 4 straight times. It was 3. It was for sure 3 drives where they were able to score touchdowns.
Okay.
And so I'm going to throw the Colts. Now I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to throw the Colts game in there.
You can throw it in there. You can throw it in there. That was a 29-28 loss. We know the leverage call at the end of the game. That's when the Colts were just absolutely humming. If you would have told me back then that team wasn't going to make the playoffs, I would have been like, wait, what? What are you talking about? They went like the first 3 weeks of the year without punting. But here we are, the NFL. It's a crazy place, especially this year.
You got Phillip Rivers being their quarterback. I mean, come on.
Which, by the way, I was watching Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame product. I'm like, wait a second.
Come on, man.
This guy looks pretty good.
Why not give him the opportunity? Why? Why did you have to bring a guy, and I know that this is about the Denver Broncos, but I just have to get this off my chest. Why are you bringing a guy out of retirement who's been retired for 5 years, who's pudgy as heck because all he has been doing is coaching and drinking beer, to come off the sideline and start playing in an NFL game when you have a young buck that wants to prove that he belongs in the league and then finally gets his opportunity yesterday and looks good doing it? Why? Why not roll with him?
Yeah, it's not a good look. That one didn't age well. I think as an NFL community, it was fun, the Phillip Rivers thing, to watch. I was very intrigued to see what that was going to look like, and it had a good payoff in general. But yeah, Riley Leonard, he was he threw for 270 yards yesterday. I didn't I used to watch him at Notre Dame. I'm like, this guy can't throw the ball. He just ran around, and there he was throwing for 270 yards. Only took 1 sack. So. Back to the Broncos. I just, so you can point to a couple of those examples, and we just cited 4 of them, okay, over the course of a 17-game season. And it's just, the reality is the reality. You are who you are at this stage in the game. And the chances that the Broncos win in the divisional round and it's aesthetically pleasing, to use Sean's phrasing, it's probably, 5%. It's probably going to be ugly. It's probably going to look a lot like the Super Bowl 50 season, where it's just like, figure it out, find a way by hook or by crook. And gosh, it feels like an eerily similar setup here to that 2015 season.
Zach, the Denver Broncos have won 11 one-score games.
It's
going to be ugly.
NFL record.
NFL record. It's going to be ugly in the playoffs. All right, it's not going to be the high scoring that we're looking for. Now, of course, if things go right and there's a couple of schemed up plays and you have receivers wide open like Troy Franklin was in the playoffs last year with the Bills, okay, I'm up for that. But if what my eyes have been seeing the whole entire season, 17 games, it's going to come down to the defense being stout, making some plays, and now making a couple turnovers, giving the offense a short field, and also the special teams. All right, Will Lutz making some clutch kicks at the end of the game. All right, you got Marvin Mims. Can you make that spark play that can kind of light a fire up under the offense and give them good field position? Like, that's what I'm leaning on now. And Sean having these long, drawn-out drives where you're methodically going down the field and hopefully praying that we can get in the end zone a couple of those times if you have these long drives that take away a bunch of time and you control the game that way.
Well, and by the way, there's a handful of people saying, hey, they think that Riley Leonard had an injury at the time, which is why they had to go. I don't remember that being a part of the Phillip Rivers discussion, but whatever.
He had one injury and then came back and he was ready to play because he was sitting behind Phillip Rivers. Okay. And they went back with Rivers instead of Leonard.
Okay, and maybe they're still in the playoff hunt. Like, we're gonna go with the veteran, like whatever. But yeah, and then honestly, if we're gonna talk about so the good stuff, we know the good stuff. The good stuff is the good stuff. It's great stuff. It's the number 1 seed. It's 14 wins. It's home field advantage. It's the week off. I mean,
only two playoff games. If you win those 2 playoff games, you're in the Super Bowl. I mean, all that great stuff.
Yes, and that is like brilliant stuff. Okay. Another thing that's concerning me, though, if I'm just being genuine and I'm just being like real with you,
Zach, it's Reaction Monday. You're reacting to what you feel like the game went.
How
the game went.
Bo Nix looked rough yesterday. My man looked rough. He looked confused. He was missing layups.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him get frustrated, and I'm watching him yell at the sideline. And it was the kind of performance from Bo specifically going into the postseason that just makes me incredibly, incredibly unsettled.
See, this is where I keep saying Sean had this vanilla game plan that he was going to stick with no matter what. Bo started to get irritated and frustrated because the vanilla game plan was not working, and now he's taking sacks, and now he's screaming at Sean like, come on, wake up. Wake up, Sean. Let's be a little bit more creative. We've had 17 games now. You can call a random play and we're going to know it. Let's be a little bit more aggressive downfield. Let me throw the ball to Cortland Sutton or Troy Franklin at least one time down the field. That never transpired. It was just everything out, the screens, try to run the ball as much as you can. All right, the quick dump-off passes, maybe try to get Evan Ingram going at times when that was only one time that it happened. So Bo was frustrated, and when Bo got frustrated, I believe he clouded himself. And so now you're missing open receivers when you do take a couple shots downfield. And now you're not trusting your offensive line because it's banged up, and you have Garrett Bowles that goes out, Alex Forsythe that goes out, the Chargers defense that was stout up front, that was getting pressure on you. And now you're running like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to sustain these drives or keep drives alive, and clouded your mind. And now you didn't have a good game because of that. Now I may be giving him an excuse, all right, but that's exactly what it looked like, a quarterback that was clouded.
Well, I mean, I don't even think that is an excuse. That's a reason why you look that way, or a speculation why he looked that way. But at the end of the day, the
excuse is it was vanilla. I'm going to say that. The excuse was the play calling was vanilla.
No, see, I can't go with you there because even the times where he had open receivers that you're just trying to hit, like even within the vanilla play, if you want to stick with that, he was just missing layups. And that was concerning because like in 2 weeks, you're going to play a team that not only is a playoff team, like they're coming off a win. Like this is a really good team, whoever it turns out to be. And tomorrow we can go through the teams and sort of pick our preference of who you would like that to be now that we know what the matchups are. And we'll talk about those matchups at 3:45. But yeah, I would have liked to see a more calming performance from Bo.
More polished Bo Nix.
A lot more polished. A lot more polished. The offensive line.
Yeah.
Dude, what's happening? It looks like they're regressing as the season's importance only grows. And that was, it's not a perfect offensive line, but it's an above average offensive line. You know, the guys from PFF, they'll tell you it's one of the best offensive lines.
Yeah, no, you got to watch the games.
Yeah, my eyes don't tell me that this is one of the better offensive lines in pro football right now.
Well, the one thing that I'm shocked with this offensive line is how poorly they are in the run game. Literally, like winning your one-on-one battle, getting some type of push. Like I know RJ Harvey has to help the lineman out. Like this is a relationship. Help me help you relationship, but also make it easier for a young running back by just moving a defensive tackle, moving a pass rusher, getting up to the second level and sealing off that block so there's a seam, so there's a 5-yard hole, and now the running back has to do the rest. That's something that the Denver Broncos offensive line is not doing. Now, is it the injuries are starting to stack up? I know Ben Powers was back in the mix, but he's a little rusty.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
A lot rusty if you want to go that route. Like I said earlier, you got someone like Garrett Bowles who messed his ankle up.
Not
and
great.
There was a bunch of reports that in the locker room, his ankle was swollen like a balloon. So now you have this big 300-pound athletic lineman that can't move now because of his ankle. You have Alex Forsythe, the second-string center, that had his ankle rolled up on. And your first-string center, all right, Wattenberg, is out for the first couple playoff games. So I think it's just a mixture and combination of, one, not executing and just winning your one-on-one battle, and this offensive line starting to get banged up and it's starting to show.
Well, thank goodness the Broncos have a bye week to get some of these guys healthy. Like if Bowles had to play, like what if this is wild card week and you're playing on Saturday? You have 6 days.
Yeah,
and
I don't know if he plays.
Man, that is it feels like the Broncos are starting to kind of actually go through it from an injury standpoint as well. Like we saw PJ Locke get banged up. He's filling in for Brandon Jones. Forsythe gets banged up. Bowles gets banged up. I mean, so just, again, thank goodness that they secured this bye, get these guys healthy. And you look at the history of getting the 1 seed. I said earlier in the show, quite literally half of the Super Bowl champions have had a first-round bye. But here in Denver, you look at the history when the Broncos have secured the number 1 seed. It's happened 8 times ever. The first time was in 1977. Broncos punched their ticket to their first Super Bowl. It happened 10 years later, 1987. Broncos punched their ticket to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It happened 2 years later. They were the number 1 seed in 1989. Broncos punched their ticket to a Super Bowl. They were the number 1 seed in 1996. It was a stunning upset against the Jags. But then 2 years later, in 1998, they win Super Bowl 33 in the 98 season, being the number 1 seed.
Yep.
In 2012, they were the number 1 seed. They get upset by Baltimore, who goes on to win the Super Bowl. But the next year, they were the number 1 seed. They go to the Super Bowl. And then 2 years later, in 15, they were the number 1 seed, and they go to the Super Bowl and they win it. So in the 8 times that it's happened in the history of the Broncos, 6 of the 8 times, the team goes on to win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's not a guarantee or a promise or a lock. It's far from it. But goodness gracious, that is like a lot of history on your side.
It's a bunch of history. But the only thing I think of when you're going down that list is there were 2 quarterbacks that I'm aware of that were damn good in Hall of Famers by that time. And that's John Elway and Peyton Manning. All right, when you have those 2 type of quarterbacks, you know you're always going to have a chance. Now, I love me some Bo Nix, but he is still young. You don't know what he's going to look like in a playoff game because he's going into his 2nd playoff game. In the first one, he got blown out. So what do you look like when the lights are the brightest and you have a bunch of pressure on you, and now you have a bye, so you're having more time to sit there and think about what you have to do. There's even more pressure put on you because now you have to go out there and do it because you're the number 1 seed. That's the only thing that crosses my mind is you had 2 quarterbacks in the past that knew how to win and have been there for a while.
Well, you say know how to win. Yesterday, Bo Nix ties Russell Wilson for the most wins of any quarterback through his first 2 seasons in the history of the sport. So, I have a lot of critiques and criticisms when it comes to Bo Nix, but the one thing, man, he has got a gene within him, and yesterday wasn't the best example. We know that. But we've seen it enough in the first 2 years where
the clutch gene,
he's got dog in him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He does, and the preparation is going to be there. His mentality is going to be there. And
But it comes down, do you have enough experience? Sometimes the old dog beats up on the new one because he has that experience. He knows what to expect. He knows the process. He knows the thought process of what the game is going to look like, what it's going to feel like, what he needs to do. Those are going to be the questions for Bo Nix because he is so young.
Yeah. What we didn't see a lot of yesterday was Bo Nix on the move throwing the football in a way that we were seeing like at the highest rate in the National Football League. Okay, so you just put that in your back pocket. The offensive line struggled. The run game struggled. But they still figure out a way to win the game. This is kind of what it's been like all season long. Most one-score wins in the history of the league. They
find a way.
They find a way. There's no doubt. Here was Sean Payton after the game.
A huge win. Obviously, I think the thing that our guys did the best, you can't control who's playing for the other team, but, man, we did all the things we needed to do defensively. I would have liked to score more touchdowns in the red zone, but you play a game a certain way. When we understood what was at stake, and now we sit here with the opportunity of having the 1 seed, which is pretty good.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good. Here's a little bit more from Sean talking about cleaning up mistakes.
Am I ever happy? No. All right. But we shouldn't be as coaches. I know fewer words have never been spoken, Mark. Speak up because you're always here, but you always never make eye contact, never have any questions, but you have a lot to write. But I think that's...
Okay, so I got to stop it here.
Yeah, please do.
That was a really, really interesting part of the press conference yesterday because he's talking to, I believe, Mark Kisla of the Denver Post, who's a columnist. Columnists are very opinionated.
Yeah.
You're not like writing up the story on recapping what happened. You're sharing your thoughts on the team. This is where Sean Keeler and CU and Dion, he's a columnist, and Dion,
didn't like what Keeler was saying.
No.
Let it be known.
He called him the Bruce Lee of BS, if I'm not mistaken, which is a hell of a line. I mean, that is a bar right there. And you hear Sean, and so I'm going to play it again here. You hear Sean, because he can't help himself. He's in the middle. You just locked up the 1 seed.
He's feeling good.
He is, mostly because, and you'll hear it in his tone here, but it's especially visually, he's happy. But he's even telling you in this clip, I'm never going to be happy. But, while we're here right now, yeah, you over there. You come here, you don't make eye contact.
You little man.
You never ask a question, but you sure as hell have a lot to write. I mean, that is classic. That is classic S. That is classic SP. There's no question about it. Here's a more of Sean talking about cleaning up those mistakes, and you get to hear that sequence again.
Am I ever happy? No. All right? But we shouldn't be as coaches. I know fewer words have never been spoken, Mark. Speak up, because you're always here, but you always never make eye contact, never have any questions, but you have a lot to write. But I think that's a good trait. There's some things when we watch that film that will be like, When people ask, all right, what's the benefit of the 1 seed? Many will say it's the rest. I personally think it's the elimination of a game that you don't have to play. Our fans were fantastic. Man, I'm proud of our team. To sit here with 14 wins and line them up, and all you can do is play them. You can't control when you're playing them. This game ended up being a little bit like last year's finish to Kansas City. At the beginning of the week, there's a couple players, and then as the week's going on, you're hearing more and more. And as a coach, how do I say it? And I referenced the COVID games where you were going into a game, and this one here was different, but when you're on the other side of it and you find out your running backs are all out, and I asked the GM, what about the running back coach? He's out too. And that kind of challenge you like. But it's the ones when they're the opposite where you feel like you have everything to lose and nothing to gain. But we had a lot to gain tonight. And to be able to host the divisional round is significant. Yeah, we got to clean some things up, and we will. We'll be ready.
We'll be ready. We'll clean some things up, and we'll be ready. And even in the midst of that answer, he said, hey, we're going to watch this tape, and we're going to go, ugh. But he also references and I'm paraphrasing, I've said this phrase for as long as I've been on the air. There's only one version of being starving. There's just one. There's just one version of being starving.
You can't make it up.
And that's to actually be starving.
Yeah.
Okay? You can't manufacture that type of hunger. You can't do a mental exercise. And I listen to Eminem, his first album. You hear the desperation in his voice.
You listen to it every day before you walk in here. You get motivated.
I don't.
One shot at this, one chance, one opportunity, once in a lifetime.
I told you I was in Boulder a couple weeks ago at a weekend, and we were up on the hill. We went to that sandwich spot, and they were playing it in pretty loud in there, and there was no one in there. Kids were on break, and I'm just hearing it in his voice. I'm like, this is a desperate human being. And when you're told, hey, Herbert's not going to play, Derwin James is not going to play, this guy, that guy.
The running back is not playing.
The running back's not playing. And you hear Sean reference it. I just wonder. Now, look, I'm not trying to absolve them for a season because this has been a disjointed offense all season long with a few breaks in between, with a few coming up for air against the Dallas Cowboys or Cincinnati or Green Bay. But in general, it has struggled. And I just think that, so I'm not trying to let him off the hook for the season, but when Sean's referencing it, I just wonder if a part of yesterday's lackluster offensive performance was, yes, they weren't going to be as more aggressive because they knew the situation that they were in, and maybe it was more vanilla if you want to use that phrase. But if it was just man, you can't manufacture the starving. You're in the playoffs, the division's yours, you're playing a bunch of backups, and
see, and this is where Jim Harbaugh was so smart. Jim Harbaugh came out announcing that Justin Herbert and a bunch of players were not going to play on Monday when it first starts. So now these players are looking at the report and saying, oh, Justin's not playing. You don't know if Keenan Allen was going to play.
Right.
Or Derwin James is not playing. And so someone like Sean's probably sitting there like, dang, hold on now. We still have to go into this game and handle business. You guys have to lock back in. So Jim Harbaugh putting that out early, that wasn't like usually you kind of wait until the end, right? To come out with your report, hey, we're not going to play these starters. No, it was.
So they have to prepare for everyone. And that's
that was on purpose. Like, let's do it. Let's throw it out there now so they know that nobody is playing and maybe we can catch them slipping and find a way to win that game because they're not all in it.
Well, if that was the intent from Jim Harbaugh, I think that it may have worked. And here's the thing that, you have all this set of circumstances that we just sort of set up, but the backdrop to it is you just did this last year and you won 38-0.
Yeah.
So,
but they were desperate. They needed that win to get into the dance.
Correct.
They're already in the dance. They're just trying to secure the number one spot. No matter what happens, they're going to be there. When it was last year against the Kansas City Chiefs, this was going to be their first time in a long time. In Bo Nix's first time ever getting to a playoffs because he's a rookie, and he wants to show that he's willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And they didn't care if it was the backups because a lot of them were young and they were still just playing this game. It's the NFL and they don't care. Now this year, it's a little bit different. They know that they're in it. They know that they have a great opportunity. They know that there's a bunch of players not playing. If they just go out there and execute, they'll win the game. And they were able to win the game because of that.
All right. Good conversation. If you want to react to it, you can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. We've speculated on something all Broncos season long, and now it's happening. We'll explain next.
The Broncos win their 14th game of the season and finished as the #1 team in the AFC. With an extra week to prepare, will the Broncos move one step closer to a Super Bowl return? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's a new year and time to get your house in order. Does your family know if you have a will, how to log into your computer? Do they know where you bank or if you have life insurance? It's time to get yourself organized, not for yourself, but for those who might be left behind. Hi, I'm Kim Rudell, owner of Wills and Wellness Estate Planning. Let us help you get a plan in place to make the transition for your loved ones as smooth as possible. Find us at willsandwellness.com or at 720-266-8190.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Brandon Stokely here for Colorado's hometown HVAC team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Is your heating system struggling to perform and need to be traded? It has never been easier to get a quote for a new heating system. Rocks Heating and Air offers a free online heating and cooling quoting system so that you can quickly and accurately get pricing on a new system. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
The University of Denver brings you the best athletics in the metro area. From lacrosse, basketball, hockey, soccer, gymnastics, and more. We have a sport to cheer on at DU. Ticket packages are available to meet your busy lifestyle and are easy on the wallet. Learn more on our digital platforms, including denverpioneers.com.
Hey Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. You know, in the game of life, our most valuable asset is our health. With the right equipment, you can train like a pro. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
For the fitness fanatic on your Christmas list, save big this holiday season. At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
2026 is shaping up to be an amazing year to buy a home in Colorado. If you've been dreaming about getting into your first place, upgrading for more space, or downsizing for a simpler lifestyle, now is a smart time to start planning. And the first step is easy. Get pre-approved. With American Financing, you can get it done in 24 hours or less, so you'll know exactly what you can afford before you start shopping. Rates have been dropping, home prices are steady, and more homes are hitting the market. You could score the right home at the right price and lock in a monthly payment that fits your budget without stretching yourself thin. And unlike renting, every payment you make goes toward your future, not your landlord's. And here's a misconception we'd love to bust. You do not need 20% down. Many buyers purchase with as little as 3% down. So if home ownership is on your 2026 goals list, let's make it happen. Call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans, at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
HelloFresh helps you cook fresh, delicious, wholesome meals every weeknight for a healthier you in each bite. This is more than just dinner. It's feel-good made from scratch. HelloFresh. Nothing hits like home cooking. Try now at HelloFresh.com.
Hi, Dan Cicchini with Dunright. Great pricing options and bank financing? You bet. Kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Done right since 1985. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. Visit drhi.com. Thanks.
It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter Har Motors.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
All right, let's come off the top rope with it. 1. All righty. We've speculated on something all Broncos season long, and now it's happening. The phone of Vance Joseph is ringing. He will interview with the Titans as soon as tomorrow. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN putting it out there. Vance could also, quote, get a look, end quote, from the New York Giants. VJ's defense ranked 3rd in points allowed per game, 2nd in yards allowed per game, and 1st in sacks this season. What do you make of it?
I'm excited for VJ. VJ deserves to have another opportunity. He's going to be better as a head coach with the second opportunity. Now for VJ, it's about making sure you pick the right destination and then making sure you pick the right coaches around you. You're only as good as the coaches around you, like we said with Coach Prime. So for VJ, and I think that he went on that podcast earlier this year and explained what he would do different.
Yep.
So he's going to be a lot more prepared than he has in the past. He's going to secure the trenches with the offensive defensive line, make sure he can find a quarterback, or maybe he's going to be with a young quarterback. If you are with the young quarterback coach, VJ, make sure your quarterback coach is the right one that can develop him, just like Josh Allen was able to get with a really good guy that was able to develop him. Coaches matter. And so for VJ, I'm glad he's getting the respect, but hopefully it leads to him truly getting a true opportunity to be the head coach.
Dante, you have something behind the glass there?
I do. Do you think Sean's worried at all of Vance getting a head coaching job and taking, Davis Webb to be his offensive coordinator? Because you see that all the time where these guys poach underlying coaches that aren't, the coordinators, and they're allowed to do it since it's a move up. Do you think that's any worry in Sean's head?
I don't think it's a worry. I really don't. I think Sean's just been around the block so many times. He's the one that just promoted Davis Webb and gave him this opportunity. And there is speculation that Davis Webb will go with Vance Joseph if he gets another job. I've seen that. But I don't think he's worried. I think you go back to him telling the story about, Mr. Benson there in New Orleans saying, Sean, they're trying to take our coaches. Yeah. And he says, hey, it's a problem if they don't want our coaches. So, and by the way, and Davis Webb's never even called plays outside of a preseason game, and he's Sean Payton. He's got the hubris of all get out. So, do you think he's worried?
No, it's Sean. Sean isn't worried about anybody but himself. He's going to be just fine. He's going to find a couple other guys that fit his mold. He probably has a couple guys in mind already thinking that VJ is going to be gone. So Sean is not worried. He's been around the block. He has won multiple games. Has won a Super Bowl. It's Sean Payton.
It's Sean Payton. And keep this in mind. If Vance leaves Denver for a head coaching job, even though he was already the head coach here, the Broncos would receive a third-round compensatory pick in 2026 and another, I believe, in 2027 as a part of the NFL's Rooney Rule. That rewards teams for developing minority coaches or executives. It's not my favorite rule. I'm not going to lie.
I don't like that rule, man.
It's like, you hired a black man?
Yeah.
Like, here's some cookies.
Come on,
wait, I understand the spirit of it, but I don't think the actual execution matches up with
it's just
the
like
intent.
Hire the best coach for the job. Period.
Yeah.
Period. If they're good for this job, you hire them.
Okay, we'll follow that story and when VJ is actually doing the interview with Tennessee or if he gets an interview with the New York Giants, and we'll keep you guys abreast on all of that stuff.
1, 2.
Okay, man, scary moment yesterday on the Avalanche front. Gabe Landeskog goes down in a unnerving sequence against the two-time defending Cup champion Florida Panthers. Now, Drew just told us. Drew, go ahead and share the news that you just shared with us in the previous commercial break.
Yeah, guys, according to Corey Massasak of the Denver Post, he said that Gabe Landeskog is traveling with the team back to Colorado today. They'll probably have some sort of an update tomorrow. My guess is after morning skate ahead of tomorrow night's game against Tampa.
Okay. Yeah, it feels like good news.
Better news than we expected. I mean, people out there at the beginning were like, it's his knee. You had Drew sitting here, hey, man, it's his knee. It's his knee. It's bad. I'm like, damn, for real? And then you watch the video. It buckles a little bit.
It does.
Runs into the post and bangs it seems like he bangs his ribs.
Yeah, but it was a violent sequence. But it looks like maybe we'll get an update like, hey, he's got some hairline fracture in his ribs or something like that. And then it was it the night before? I think it was the night before. Taser goes out with an injury in what I don't think that it was any intent there from, I'm forgetting his name, Drew. Is it Ehlers? So I don't think there was any ill will or intent, but another just kind of scary sequence with Taser there. He's listed with a lower body injury. So the Avs lost yesterday. Snapped. I think they had won 10 in a row.
Yep.
The Avs fell to 31-3-7. The 69 points, still the second most in NHL history through 41 games, and the most in nearly a century. The most recent frame of reference to what the Avs are doing is the Boston Bruins back in 1929 and 1930.
Yeah, so they're doing some great things now. Of course, last night's showing, I mean, they were fatigued. They played a back-to-back game. They just were not on. The Avalanche were not the Colorado Avalanche, and then you had that injury to Gabe. I think that just took everything out of them, where they were already struggling offensively. But after the Gabe thing, it's like, come on, guys, let's just pack up. Let's go home.
Yeah. All right, next in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so the Nuggets lost in Brooklyn. I really wanted this one for obvious reasons.
Well, there was another guy that really wanted it too.
Yeah.
Said, take that.
How about that, man? Michael Porter Jr. had 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. He's been playing great for Brooklyn, and the Nuggets are just out of gas. And what I saw from these Nuggets was a little bit different than the previous 2 games, where against Cleveland, and I know they lost, but if you guys watched that game, I think that was Friday night.
Yeah, it was Friday night.
Man, they played so hard. And they were galvanized in the way that they were in that Raptors win on the road against a pretty good Raptors team, but they just didn't get the result. They went completely cold in the fourth quarter. I think they scored 11 points in the fourth quarter.
I mean, you had Payton Watson shooting up and chucking up threes when he probably should have passed it, try to find Jamal Murray because he's our guy. He's right at the high hand.
11 points in a quarter is pretty wild, though. I mean, think about it. They scored 38 points in the third quarter and then 11 points in the fourth quarter. They got dominated on the glass. And so they were close, but no cigar. And then the Brooklyn one is just they didn't have that same gusto. And
but why is that? Christian Brown was back in the mix.
I know.
Aaron Gordon coming off the bench, which I thought was a smart move. Don't move Peyton Watson right now. You know, and AG had 20 points, and yet they looked like a team that did not want to be out there.
Yeah, and it's weird, man. And it goes back to one of my gambling manifestos when players are returning that are frontline players, bet against that team as they try to get reorganized and all that stuff. Because, I mean, AG was out for a long time. Brown was out for a long time. So it's going to get better, but it might get just a little darker before the light starts shining through, because tonight they have the 76ers on the road, and essentially no one's playing. Cam Johnson's not playing. Jonas Valanciunas isn't playing. Aaron Gordon's not playing. Jamal Murray's not playing.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this team is going to get to 85 points tonight in Philly. I really don't.
Calling you. Call the MVP. The ZB machine. Get them rebounds, Dennis Rodman.
Give me a shot. Give me a shot. Okay. Shifting gears. Drew just told us that the numbers, the ratings for the college football playoff just came out. All right, so we know we're always interested in that kind of stuff, so we'll take a peek at that. And also, let's take a look at the other NFL playoff matchups while the Broncos have their feet up. We'll do that coming up next.
The Broncos followed up their 2024 season by winning 14 games, reclaiming the AFC West and securing a first-round bye in the playoffs. Are the Broncos destined for a return to Santa Clara for Super Bowl 60? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Enjoy this run to the playoffs and be safe when you're going to the games or to parties. If you do get into an accident, make the right call to Flanagan Law. While the other guys blend in, I stand out. Look for the Shamrock, Flanagan Law, your advocate when you need it most.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
The West isn't just a place, it's a feeling. And this January 10th through the 25th, the National Western Stock Show presented by Common Spirit Health brings the heart of the West to Denver. So saddle up for 16 days of rodeo action, family fun, and championship lifestyle. This is where tradition meets excitement. This is who we are. We are the West. Tickets available at nationalwestern.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Brendan Stokely here from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com. Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins the drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter Har Motors. Here's the drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, so the numbers for the college football playoff just came out. The viewership. How many people watched this quote-unquote broken sport? Also,
what numbers were Uncle Sig's? That's the one I really wanted.
Yeah, Drew's got him. We don't know him behind the glass, so we'll all guess here. Then we'll take a look at some of these NFL playoff matchups. Drew, what's our first game?
Well, let's start with the Orange Bowl, which was the first game on New Year's Day, 10 a.m. with Oregon and Texas Tech.
Ooh, I'm going to say
competitive game, somewhat.
Real quick, before we guess, I just have to throw this out there. They need to bring regional aspects back to bowl games. Texas Tech and Oregon playing in Miami, and that environment was disgusting.
Dude, I've been banging the table here for a while. These games should be on campus.
Well, that too.
They should not be going to these big, Caesars Dome and in Atlanta or Miami, Hard Rock. Have them on campus. Once you get to the semifinals, okay, go to the big boy stadiums. But these games should be on campus. Okay, I'll go.
Get it off your chest.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go 19 million people.
Okay.
I'm going to go higher than that because everybody's sitting at home excited for these games. I'm going to go 22. 22 mil.
Dante?
I'm going to go lower. I'll go 18.
Okay.
All right.
18.5.
You all three are incorrect. You're all a little high. Just, I'm using air quotes here, 15.9 million viewers.
Well, okay.
Pretty good number. No comparables to last year on this little chart that I'm looking at here. So let's go with the New Year's Eve game, the Cotton Bowl, Miami, Ohio State.
Oh, God. What a helmet game. What a logo game.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And it was New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve.
I'm going to go 23 million people.
Okay.
I'm going to go lower than that. I'm going to go 18.5.
Dante?
I'm going to go 20.5.
Okay.
All right. Phil is the closest with 19 million viewers.
Okay.
Now you compare that with last year's New Year's Eve game, which was the Fiesta Bowl, Penn State and Boise State, up 37%.
Wow.
But like you said, a helmet game.
Yeah.
Miami, Ohio State makes a big time difference there.
All right, what else we got?
Let's go with probably the best game of the four, the All-State Sugar Bowl, which, if you remember last year, was moved back a day because of the terrorist attack on Bourbon Street.
Oh, that's right.
So comparable number for this, but you had Ole Miss and Georgia, the nightcap on New Year's Day.
This is Ole Miss and Georgia, the final game on New Year's Day.
No Lane Kiffin, though.
I'm going to go 21 million.
I think I'm going to go 20 million.
I'm going to go a little lower. I'll go 18.5.
Dante would be the winner, 18.7.
Okay, wow.
But you compare it again with year over year, up 18%. But again, that was a game that was played like the middle of the day on January 2nd.
Right.
So, all right, final showdown here, the Rose Bowl game. Zach's Uncle Kurt. Blowout. Competitive for a half, but it ended up in a blowout.
Yeah, Indiana, not a logo.
No.
Right? I don't think they're yet to moving the needle. Alabama does.
But it's the way they played this year. I don't know how many people were on that hype train.
Yeah, and there's no Nick Saban there. People, like the casual fan, is still getting used to Kalen DeBoer and Signetti for sure. God, I'll go 17 million.
I'm going to go low. I'm going to go with 15 million.
Okay.
I'm going to go way high, 23.5. I think the Rose Bowl just means more.
Okay. This was...
It just means more.
It just means more. Not to Alabama, it didn't apparently, but...
For sure.
So this ended up being the most viewed college football playoff game of the 12-team era, passing 18 of the previous 22 semifinals, 23.9 million.
Wow.
Okay. All right, D.
Yep.
Signetti's huge.
Yeah, up 13% over last year, which was Oregon-Ohio State, helmet game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which was also a blowout.
That is surprising. I would have said that was the lowest.
Yeah.
Wow.
So overall, the quarterfinal round was up 14% year over year.
Wow.
Through 2 rounds, up 3% year over year.
And I just continue to say, and we've talked about this for over a year now, college football, not only is it the second most popular sport in the country by a mile, where the lowest game that you just gave me does more numbers than the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals combined. That's the lowest. And so it's our favorite American sport meeting a bracket. And that's why the NFL, you better be on your P's and Q's, because 15, 17 years from now, if there's a super conference, and I mean, these teams aren't going anywhere. This sport isn't going anywhere. It's got some process stuff it needs to fix, but the results, the end results are insane. Okay, this weekend, doctor, talk to me. NFL playoffs. Game number 1, the Rams at the Panthers. The Rams open up as a 10-point favorite,
The
Phil.
Rams at the Panthers, as my son would tell me. He was actually talking about the Panthers yesterday.
Love
he was like,
it.
Panthers versus Cougar. All right. I think that things are going to be different. Now, the last time that the Panthers showed up and played the Rams, Panthers ended up winning that game, and it was a home game for the Panthers.
Yeah, multiple picks from Stafford.
Yeah, home game for the Panthers again, but this is just going to be a different mindset for the Rams. The Rams have it all. Now, of course, they haven't looked the same in the past 3 weeks, but I think it's a team that's well put together. They have the experience. They have the quarterback. They're going to beat the Panthers.
That number has already moved up to 10.5. Usually signals money is coming in on the favored team who is on the road in this scenario. Then you have the other Saturday wild card matchup. That Panthers-Rams game is going to be 2:30 in the afternoon on Fox on Saturday. And then after that, on Prime Video, It's the Packers at the Chicago Bears.
Woo-wee.
A trilogy. What do you think? Who do you like in this one?
You know, I love me some Ben Johnson. The head coach over there, he has that team believing. Caleb Williams is coming along. He's doing a great job as well. They're tough. They're getting turnovers. I'm going to go with the Bears. The Packers are banged up. Jordan Love's another guy that he puts together really good numbers, but when it matters the most, he hasn't been able to punch through. So I'm going to go with the Bears and them finding a way to beat the Packers.
Yeah, I think they somehow figure it out, too. At home, I mean, if this game was in Green Bay, the Bears are a 1.5-point favorite on Saturday night. But, yeah, I think I would go with the Bears, too. Give me some time to think about it, though, throughout the week. We'll go over these picks on Friday. And then on Sunday, game number 1 on CBS, Buffalo at Jacksonville. The Bills are opening up as a 1.5-point favorite, and I need to say this, and I said this last Wednesday when it was Alabama and Indiana. If you flip the jerseys and you flip the helmets and the Indiana players had Alabama Crimson Tide logos, it wouldn't have been a 7-point spread. It would have been a double-digit spread because Indiana's just better, but people can't wrap their minds around Bama catching a touchdown from the Hoosiers of all teams. I think it's the same thing happening right here. If you put the exact teams and had them flip jerseys and logos, I think Jacksonville is a 4-5-point favorite. Jacksonville has been a better team all season long. They're playing their best football right now, but people can't get their head around Josh Allen and the Bills being favored or underdogs against Jacksonville. It wouldn't shock me at all if this thing gets bet all the way through 0, and by kickoff, Jacksonville's the favorite.
So who do you got?
Jacksonville.
Oh, Zach. Look at you, reverse psychology. I see you. I'm gonna go with the Bills. All right, like I've been saying this for a very long time. I mean, sometimes you have to go with the quarterbacks that have been there before. Jacksonville, a great story. The Buffalo Bills, the last time they played, Jacksonville got their heads kicked in. I think that you have someone by the name of Josh Allen that's ready to kind of break through, knows that his daddy, Patrick Mahomes, is not available. The babysitter's in town, and I think the Bills get it done.
All right, Niners at Eagles. Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite. Man, I cannot make heads and tails of this one quite yet. Chargers at New England. Patriots, a 3.5-point favorite. I think Chargers are going in there and stunning the Patriots.
Yeah.
On Sunday. That game is on Sunday night. That is Sunday Night Football, 6 o'clock on NBC. And then final matchup is Monday Night Football. It's the Houston Texans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Texans open up as a 3.5-point favorite. So we'll be talking about these games throughout the week. We'll take a deeper dive, just a kind of surface level peek at it here on a Monday. But looking forward to talking about these matchups in more depth as the week goes on. Okay, what was Bo Nix saying after securing the 1 seed, but also hearing his offense once again booed by the Mile High crowd? You'll hear from Bo next.
The Broncos took care of business against the Chargers and closed out the regular season with a win. After a roller coaster season, does Sean Payton have his team dialed in for the playoffs? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Happy New Year, Here, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. Hey, I got a real cool story I wanted to share with you. Many years ago, my lovely wife Kimberly wrote down a prayer that said, God, make me a lighthouse so I can be a light to others when they're in a dark place. She filed that card away both in her heart and her prayer box. And then about 3 years ago, I asked my wife to leave her job in corporate America and come help me open up 303 Law 4040. And she absolutely loves it. She really feels like helping other people when they are hurting and don't know what to do is her calling. So here's the really cool part. A few weeks ago, a client came in to pick up a check and said to Kim, I really want to thank you. You were a lighthouse to me when I was in a dark place. It gave me chills when Kim told me that. If you've been hurt in an accident, it really is our honor to help you in your time of need. Call us anytime at 303 Law 4040, where you always get to speak directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly. That's 303 Law 4040. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Imagine your home quieter, cooler, and more beautiful with the new Infinity from Marvin windows. Right now, Gravina's Window Center of Littleton is offering 25% off. These aren't ordinary windows. They're built to outlast, outperform, and turn heads. Family owned since 1973, trusted across Colorado, and they never cut corners. Call them 303-794-0490 or visit windowsforyourhome.com. Don't delay. Quality costs less than regret.
Women go through many changes in their lives. And we believe each milestone matters. That every new candle represents another step in your story. Our healthcare experts support women at every stage of life. Because each chapter deserves to be celebrated. Women's health. Nurture what's next. Find care near you at mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health. Human kindness lives here.
Need a new water heater? Euro Plumbing has lifetime warranties, great financing, and low pricing. 720-500-3000. 720-500-3000.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter Har Motors. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
What was Bo Nix saying after securing the 1 seed? But also, I mean, you can't make this up. Speaking of fans getting up and getting out of town, it felt like some of Broncos country was going to leave that game in the way that they used to, because with 12 minutes left in the game, it's the fourth quarter. Playing for the number 1 seed, the Broncos offense is getting roundly booed off the field.
Look, Broncos country knows their football, and they want to see fireworks. This is the last game. This is a tune-up game where you're playing against a bunch of backups. Supposedly, there's a couple starters in there that I think that we have to understand that the whole defensive line was starting, a safety and a cornerback was starting. But overall, we wanted to see the best version of this offense, which is sustain some drives, have the long drives. That's fine. But get in the end zone. Red zone was horrible.
So bad.
And the fans, Bronco country had it. They had enough, and they were upset.
Well, the red zone offense has been an issue. This is not a one game in a vacuum like type of, hey, we can't stand. Like, this is a culmination. This is a buildup. How many times has the Broncos offense got booed at home this year, would you say?
Ooh.
It's like 3 or 4 for sure.
Yeah, let's go with 5.
Okay.
5 times.
Yeah.
I can see 5 times. We'd have to pull up the schedule, but they got booed with Cincinnati. Remember at the beginning, that was a rough start.
Oh,
defensively
you're right.
and offensively. They got booed.
And that was Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Yes.
Booed with the Raiders on Thursday night football.
Yep.
That was like, what was it, 10? Was it 10-3?
10-7.
10-7.
They were
10-7.
booed in the New York Giants game.
Booed. Everybody left.
Yep.
Everybody left.
Yes. Yeah, this is just kind of how it's gone. But it's just like you can't make it up. Like you're 12 minutes away from securing the number 1 seed in Broncos country, and rightfully so. I mean, it was frustrating to watch. So what did you make of Bo Nix yelling at Sean?
He was frustrated.
And the cameras caught it.
Bo Nix was embarrassed. I think the whole team was embarrassed because they were told, "Hey guys, they're playing their backups." We knew that at the beginning of the week, Monday. All right, if we go out there and do things the right way, be fundamentally sound, don't make the mistakes, we should be able to move up and down the field, which the Denver Broncos were able to do at the beginning of the game. That first drive didn't end with a touchdown, but it ended with some points. And I think that Bo Nix got frustrated after he got sacked for the 3rd or 4th time, and he's yelling at Sean, "Hey, let's be a little bit more creative. Let's stop being as vanilla. Let's open it up so that we can score some touchdowns," because my guessing is Bo Nix thought in the 4th quarter Jarrett Stidham was going to be playing in the game.
Yeah.
And that was definitely not the case.
Definitely not. Here was Bo after the game talking about what he could have done better.
Well, I should have done a better job today, having more urgency in the huddle, getting us going. I felt like I failed us on that. Overall, I thought we didn't play with the tempo and the passion we normally play with. Now, there's a lot that goes into that. It's week 18, it's the last game of the year. Get kind of up 10-0 weird early, and it's just a strange football game. You prepare for one thing all week and then get something different. You don't know who's going to show up. So, I got to do next time we get in that spot, I got to have better urgency, be a little bit of a spark myself, and then the rest of the guys will do the same.
Very interesting, and it goes back to the speculation that I had earlier in the show when trying to diagnose why it looked the way that it looked yesterday, is that from a human standpoint, they just were not as laser focused and that incredible intensity that they can play with. He just said, the starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos said, we didn't play with the same passion we normally do. And he's like, a lot goes into that. It's week 18, long season. We find out these guys aren't playing. And I will continue to go back to this. When you were in a very similar situation a year ago and you went 38-0, you think that it's going to come easy this time around, and it just didn't.
Well, see, this is where an experienced quarterback comes to play, where Bo Nix is still learning. He's learning about this. Think about if that was Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, what they're doing, what they're saying. You're walking on eggshells in practice. You're walking on eggshells during the game because someone like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady is going to be yelling at you because they want to win and they want to win big. For Bo, he needs to take more accountability of saying, look, this is my team, and I didn't like what I saw. And so if you don't like what you see, you go out there, you address it. Even during the game, hey, we got to pick things up. Or, Court, let's change it up a little bit. I'm gonna change a play, and let's go deep so that we can get some momentum going. Like, this is when Bo Nix, when we start to see that's when we know that Bo Nix has taken full control of this team.
This is, I believe, the 3rd, if not 4th time we've seen Bo Nix demonstratively frustrated with Sean Payton. It started his rookie year when he flipped the play and all that. We remember it's like stuff of legend almost immediately.
When Bo Nix is born.
Yeah, and certainly will be like in time. Like if Bo Nix turns out to be like truly him and the Broncos win a Super Bowl, and like we will harken back to this stuff. But him getting caught on camera and the natural sound mic saying, "Wake up, let's go," screaming at Sean is just... It's a really unique dynamic.
How you feel about it?
I love it.
Okay. All right. I didn't know where you were going with this.
I think, especially in a dynamic like that, player coach, where there's immense respect going both ways, I think sometimes a healthy tension can be good. I do. Here is a little bit more. Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. I mean, like for me, I'm all about the players. And what Bo Nix is showing is he is not scared of Sean Payton. but he's also not scared to bark back. And we've had conversations, but there's been things that have happened in the building where Bo Nix has taken accountability, and Sean and Bo have went back and forth. That's something that you guys can take to the bank. And they have went back and forth, and Bo Nix has had his teammates back. Let's just be real, and I'm just going to let you guys know that.
Yeah, and I remember you sharing that a couple of weeks ago, and the like the winning over the locker room in some of those sequences of Bo sticking up for one of his guys.
There's a reason why the defense and VJ said what he said on the podcast of, hey, like, Bo can do no wrong. Why is that? Because Bo goes to bat for his teammates. He would do anything it takes to win games, but also to make sure they're okay.
Here is a little bit more from Bo. The overdog stuff. Do you see they made shirts?
Yeah. You buy one?
His team made shirts. Not yet. But they said the proceeds go to, I think they said the Denver Rescue Mission, I want to say.
Okay.
They said. So a good cause, but of course this stems from Bo being asked, hey, you're such an underdog, or whatever, some version of that. And he's like, well, we're the overdogs. We're not the underdogs. We're the overdogs. He was asked about that, and also learning from the playoffs a year ago.
I guess the overdog, but they'll still give you all the reasons why we're going to lose the game. But I think playoffs is one thing. Going on the road to a tough Buffalo team, you can take a lot of experiences from that, everything you learn. And I think you see a little bit more of, you get there, you start playing, you're like, it's just the same competitive football that we've been playing. Now there's just a little bit more at stake. So I think it was better, much rather have played a game last year in the playoffs than not, and this time being my first one. I think playing at home, it'll be my first home one, so that'll be a little bit different, but I think it'll do nothing but help. And the away experiences from last year, just understanding, how nothing really changes. It's the next week, next opponent. The good thing is you can't look forward, so that you don't, even have a choice. There's no opponent next. You got to wait for that weekend to finish out. So for me, it's just the next game and the next game and the next game. Fortunately for us, we have 2 weeks. We can rest a little bit this week and then prepare, have a good week next week. It's like winning a playoff game this week, so it's huge having that bye. And also you get an extra playoff check.
An extra playoff check as well, he says.
You gotta love it. Hey, the playoff checks. they double the salary of the playoff checks. So somebody that, let's just say $15,000, now you get $30,000. Right now, I know they're getting paid more than that, but just for simple math.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Well, he says it's like winning a playoff game this week without doing anything. And we can't even look ahead because we don't even know who we're going to be playing. So these guys, I mean, to a certain degree, are going to be fans like us this weekend, sitting down, and it's not even like one game decides it. Like it could be, there's just moving parts there. But I do think, he referenced playing in the playoffs a year ago. I have always believed that there is value with getting your butt kicked in the playoffs. And I remember 2017 here doing this job covering the Nuggets, and their season came down to the last game of the year. It was them and the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And whoever won game 82 was going to the playoffs, and whoever lost their season was over. And I just remember saying, man, please win this game, because the value, especially in that league, and we've talked about the climb in basketball is much different than the NFL, but just the value of going through the process of playing a playoff game, even though you got your butt kicked 31-7, like the week leading up to it, what to expect from a media standpoint, what to expect from just an attention standpoint, and just going through it. Like, experience matters.
Experience matters in anything you do. So, like, having that playoff game, and although you got your butt kicked, you were in it. You got to feel what it felt like to be in a playoff game, the excitement.
Yep.
So now this year, you're not as excited. Now this year, you're like, okay, we have a chance. There's a lot more pressure on you. So you may be a little bit more nervous because it's like, man, everything is out in front of us. We get home field advantage, 2 playoff games. If we win those, then we're in the biggest dance you can possibly be in, the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of pressure there for Bo. It's like, I have to look better than I did the first playoff game. And for Sean, it's about getting these players who've never been in this position before ready for a big-time game.
All right, you want to react to any of that, you can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. The Broncos are officially the number 1 seed. But how are we feeling about this football team after yesterday and really the last few weeks? We'll take a dive into it coming up next.
The Broncos win their 14th game of the season and finished as the #1 team in the AFC. With an extra week to prepare, will the Broncos move one step closer to a Super Bowl return? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
You can swirl it, you can sip it, but the best way is to share it. Hey y'all, I'm Deanna, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You get that bold flavor of the Coke mixed with the smooth deliciousness of the vanilla ice cream. You have a juicy filet and a smooth, creamy float. It's an awesome pairing.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
Babe, your arms look amazing. Working out is paying off.
Thanks. I just wish my chest matched. No matter what I do, I'm frustrated with my man boobs.
Hey, don't beat yourself up. More than half of men have gynecomastia. It's gland tissue, not laziness. Same thing is happening to my friend Trisha's husband. He went to Dr. Cameron Dastry at Modern Surgical Arts of Denver.
For real? You get good results?
He got great results. Call him, honey.
Call today. They're offering complimentary consultations for the fan listeners. 303-470-3400 or at modernsurgicalarts.com.
Are you worrying about those upcoming credit card bills after the holidays? If you're a homeowner, there's no better time than now to call American Financing and wipe out that debt. Eliminate the stress and set yourself up for a strong 2026. The Fed dropped rates for the 4th time in December, guys. American Financing can help you access that equity in your home at an interest rate in the low 5s. You heard that right, in the low 5s. That's a much lower rate than the average 20% or more credit card rate. American Financing is saving their customers an average of $800 a month. Guys, that's like a $10,000 raise to start the new year. There are no upfront fees and no obligation to see how much you can save. And they are closing some in as fast as 10 days and even delaying 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans, at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 start at 6.196% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Ben Franklin here to talk to you about your water heater. A water heater is a vital part of your home's plumbing. When it doesn't work, it can really freeze up your routine. Call the pros at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing about water heater options for your home. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com or call 877-BEN-1776 to request an appointment. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in their respective state or county.
Every Christmas, you watch a classic movie. The one with Jimmy Stewart is caring banker George Bailey, and the one with the other kind of banker, Henry Potter. You watch It's a Wonderful Life because you are searching for someone who cares about you, a man like Jimmy Stewart's George Bailey. But you wonder, is the notion of a caring banker a fantasy? This is Glenn Jamarot. I'm president of the Alpine Bank family, member FDIC. Alpine Bank believes in one guiding principle, caring. We believe that if we put our customers and communities first, then everything we all hope for has the chance to come true. The most valuable thing one person can give another is caring. When you care, everything else just follows. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado and you.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. That's Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. 6th Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3.
Or 104.3 The Fan being the number one rated sports station in this, not sports station, number one rated a station in this market in the last quarter.
Yeah.
So appreciate you guys. How are we feeling though? Because I feel like isn't it interesting how your perspective can change your outlook on anything. I gave the example a couple weeks ago of driving a regular SUV and then getting into my 25 Ford Bronco, and just it's higher, and then
you're just too good for it now.
And then you go back into my wife's Honda Pilot, which is the vehicle that I drove for 3 years. Like, I can't believe how low to the ground this is. Nothing changed other than my perspective. Here's another one, dude. This is crazy. Do you guys know that eating lobster used to be looked at like a poor person's food?
For real?
Not only was it looked at like a poor person's food, but there was so much of it, and it was so lowly thought of, it was like a trash food. And we fed it to our prisoners in prison.
So they were eating lobster.
Literally. So, like, think about that. Like, the guys in Pelican Bay were eating lobster because of the abundance of it, and the view of lobster was so low 150 years ago that not only did they serve it to prisoners, they had to make laws, no joke, look it up, how often you served it to a prisoner because they were feeding it to them every single day.
Damn.
To the point where in certain prisons, the prisoners were protesting by not eating because they fed them too much lobster.
Well, now we say steak and lobster like it's a...
Correct. The lobster didn't change. Our view of the lobster changed. So your perspective can shift one thing from being a trash poor food that you feed prisoners to you got to pay $49.99 to get it paired with steak.
Anytime I want to know any kind of facts on lobster, the humpback whale, the orca, I'm going to use that.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm your one-stop shop for marine
Stop shop, huh?
marine talk. But
that's interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, yeah.
And so I think about the Broncos, and I'm bringing that up because I think about the Broncos, and there are some people today within Broncos country that are like, I can't believe you guys or pointing out flaws from a 14-3 team. I can't believe in some of your conversations your tone can be negative when it comes to the team who has the number 1 seed. What's changed is the expectations and our perspective.
Yeah.
We're analyzing it through an entirely new lens, and the lens is through a Super Bowl lens.
And nobody is perfect. When those players step into that meeting room today, they're going to probably get cussed out a couple times. You can have a great win and still learn from it. Go back to the drawing board and say, damn, I wish I would have done that a little bit better. Or maybe somebody missed a protection that could have really hurt them. And the next time they miss that protection, it will hurt them and they lose the game because of it. So attention to detail has to be at an all-time high, and you have to find ways to get better, even when you're having success. Because you're either getting better or you're getting worse. Nothing ever stays the same. So for the Denver Broncos, when it comes to the way that they played offensively, it wasn't good enough. And if they go out there with the same mindset, which I don't think is going to happen, but let's just say they go out there flat,
right,
they will not win the game. Defense has to be on their P's and Q's. We know it's the backbone. Special teams is going to have to come up big, and maybe Will Lutz is going to have to hit a 54-yard field goal to win it and to send us to the next round. Who knows? But you have to always be critiquing what's going on and what can get you better so that you don't make the same mistakes and you can win the next one because you guys are on top of things.
Well, the most important box that got checked yesterday is the Broncos won.
For sure.
It might have been frustrating. The team was literally getting booed off the field. How are you personally feeling about this football team right now?
Mixed emotions. I feel great about the defense and the special teams. I feel great on what they're doing. They have been dominant for most of the year, if not all of the year when it comes to the defense. They are the backbone. But special teams has come a long way and has helped us win football games because of the kicking team and Marvin Mims having a couple spark plays. Even the Raiders game where Marvin Mims breaks for his first punt return in his career.
Yeah.
That helped us win that game.
Totally.
When you go back and you think of it and look at it. So I'm excited for our defense and our special teams, and they are ready to play. But then I look with them when it comes to the mixed emotions offensively. Can they be the best version of themselves? I know that this offense is not going to score 30 points. That's not who they are. But can they sustain long drives? Can they find a way to be creative in the red zone so that they can get touchdowns and not just field goals, not just 3 points, but 7 points, 6 points, but the extra point gives you 7. So can you get the 7 points? Like, I'm concerned with that, and that's why I have these mixed emotions. We deserve to be at the top, number 1 seed. We're 14-3. Our defense has been phenomenal this year. Special teams has caught up. But offensively, can you find a way to be the best version of yourself on one-off games?
It's the biggest question faced in Denver sports right now. And we'll have to wait a little bit. And I have no problem waiting. I mean, we have nothing but time to chop it up about these Broncos, diagnose it. We have some fun conversations that are going to be awaiting us later this week that we already have in the holster. Here is the history, you guys, of the Broncos obtaining the 1 seed in the way that they did yesterday. Yesterday, they locked it up for the 9th time in the history of the franchise. Here are the previous 8 times. 1977, went to the Super Bowl. 1987, went to the Super Bowl. 1989, went to the Super Bowl. 1996, they were upset by Jacksonville. 1998, so the year after Super Bowl 32, the Chiefs were actually the 1 seed that year. The Broncos went to the Super Bowl and won it after beating the Falcons. In 2012, they were the 1 seed. They lost to Baltimore in the divisional playoff 38-35. In 2013, they were the 1 seed. They went to the Super Bowl. In 2015, they were the 1 seed and went to the Super Bowl and won it. So in the 8 times that this has happened, 6 of the 8, the Denver Broncos went to the damn Super Bowl. So here we go. Here we bow.
Come on now.
And we'll get to him here in just a little bit because
we can have his own dedicated segment. Bo, sit your ass down, but we got to talk.
All right. What did we make of the strength of the Denver Broncos yesterday? We'll talk about the defense coming up next.
The Broncos followed up their 2024 season by winning 14 games, reclaiming the AFC West, and securing a first-round bye in the playoffs. Are the Broncos destined for a return to Santa Clara for Super Bowl 60? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Well, we know what January is. It's full of, hey, I'll start tomorrow quotes. But guess what? SodaWeightLoss.com is full of people who finally said, no, really, today is the day I start in that weight loss journey. The lifestyle that you learn from SodaWeightLoss.com. How to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. Soda delivers fast, easy, convenient weight loss that fits real life. No hunger, no guesswork, and support from a real coach who actually texts you back. That's why they have nearly 9,000 positive Google reviews and thousands of jaw-dropping before and after photos like mine when I lost 60 pounds a few years ago with SodaWeightLoss.com, and it's never coming back. And right now, it's the perfect gift for two of you. Look and feel 10 years younger for the price of one. Two people, one program, one life-changing start to 2026. Soda is the #1 weight loss company in America for client satisfaction and results, and the proof is at SodaWeightLoss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Soda Weight Loss is, say it with me, state of the art.
Colorado roads are icy. Accidents happen. When they do, you're in luck with Flanagan Law. I'm Samantha, the personal injury lawyer who stands out from the rest of the guys. Look for the Shamrock. Flanagan Law, your advocate when it matters most.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Denver men's and women's basketball is on the rise, and we need to create a home court advantage this season. Experience more than just a game. Experience team interactions, discounted hoop rates, concession packages, giveaways, and more all season long with Denver Division I basketball. Learn more at denverpioneers.com. We can create a package just for you with DU Hoops.
Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
Hey guys, feeling cooped up this winter? Mark Schlereth here. You know these Colorado nights can get freezing cold with your furnace running non-stop just to keep things cozy. But here's the thing. While your heating system is working overtime, it's also blowing dust, dirt, and debris through your air ducts and straight into the air you breathe. That's where Ductworks comes in. Your trusted air duct cleaning experts. Using a powerful combination of scraping and vacuuming technology, the Ductworks team clears out years of buildup, grime, and other gunk hiding in your ductwork. The results? Cleaner, fresher air, better energy efficiency, and a healthier home or office for you and your family. Don't wait until spring. Breathe easier now with top-rated service from Ductworks. Call them at 303-425-0985 or visit them online today at ductworks.com for a free residential or commercial estimate.
303-425-0985.
Download to see if you qualify for Albert Instant Advance. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription is required for Instant Advance. Please see the Albert app or albert.com for subscription pricing. Subscriptions can be canceled at any time.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? You can get up to a $1,000 advance fast to pay for car repairs, bills, rent, groceries, whatever you need. Plus, Albert can help you find ways to save and give you a custom budget to actually grow your money.
Albert can get me up to $1,000?
Exactly. But they do more than get you up to $1,000. Albert is your financial assistant, helping you budget, save, and spotting you money in a pinch.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code PLAN to get up to $1,000 for your bills, rent, groceries, and more. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code PLAN to get up to $1,000. Use code PLAN to get up to $1,000.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Annuities, non-advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. You know, in the game of life, our most valuable asset is our health.
At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Step Denver, a nonprofit solution to addiction and homelessness.
It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter Har Motors. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, what did we make of the Broncos' defense yesterday? The strength, the vertebrae, the backbone.
Strong arm.
What did you make of that side of the ball yesterday, Phil?
I mean, Zach, they did their part. All right, they got pressure. They had 8 pressures. All right, they had 4 sacks, an interception taken back to the house by Jaquan McMillan, who is making himself a lot of money this year. A strip sack from Nick Bonito. What more did you want this defense to do? They stopped the Chargers from getting in the end zone and getting a touchdown. I mean, they were dominant, and they were still missing Dre Greenlaw, Brandon Jones. All right, so there's John Franklin Myers.
Yeah,
that was an interesting one where right before the game started, they decided to sit him out because he's dealing with a hip flexion.
Yeah, interesting. Not great. Broncos are going through a little bit from a health standpoint. They really are.
And you had P.J. Luck that got knocked out of the game. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
But no matter who was out there, they dominated. They did their part. They gave the offense opportunities with short fields. The offense did not take advantage of those opportunities. That's on them. So I'm not mad at them.
No, I thought they were basically great yesterday. Now, there's a couple things. There's a couple missed tackles, and Trey Lance running around a little bit, and late, completing some passes late to actually, sports gamblers. I don't know how relevant this was to everyone, but they were a 14-point favorite. The Chargers go down at the end of that game, look like they score a touchdown. They call illegal formation.
Yeah.
Backs them up. Trey Lance puts one on the dime in the back right corner of the end zone for another touchdown. And I'm like, oh, this thing's busted. But, just busted ticket. And then they took that touchdown off the board, and that left for a 4th and goal, and that's kind of how it ended. But, yeah, I mean, anytime you're holding a quarterback to 136 passing yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, sacking them 4 times, and then holding the leading running back to 29 yards, that's a pretty dominant day. And you take the ball away twice. And we had been asking, this defense, who is really good, to be great. And you can't be a great defense that doesn't take the ball away. And not only were they a defense that didn't take the ball away, I didn't realize until yesterday that the 12 turnovers that the Broncos forced this year was the least in the history of the team. How could those two things live in the same universe? You lead the NFL in sacks.
Yeah.
You're amongst league leaders in yards allowed, points allowed, but it's the lowest turnover total heading into the final week of the season in the history of the Broncos?
It's a wacky year. And I don't understand it. And Tony Romo brought it to everybody's attention. It is a little weird that you're getting pressure. You're always around the ball. So usually when quarterbacks are pressured or they get sacked, they want to get the ball out of their hands fast. They make bad decisions. That's a turnover right there. Or because you are getting these sacks, like swiping at the ball when the quarterback's not looking, you should be able to force more fumbles. And the Denver Broncos haven't been able to do it. Now, they did it last night, and hopefully this kind of is a trend in the right direction of, like, this is what it's going to look like in the playoffs, because we're going to need it if the offense is going to kind of have sputters and not look as good as they need to win these games. The defense is going to have to give off the offense more opportunities. And how do you do that? Turnovers.
Well, here was Sean Payton after the game talking about how important these turnovers are.
Score on defense, 88% winner. Same thing in the kicking game. And it was funny that came up because at some point I said, look, we keep talking about the takeaways. Some of these elite defenses score. And so we kind of gave them the information, and I think I mentioned this to you all. Beginning at 0 when the playoffs start, in the last 25 years, there's only been one Super Bowl winner. Now, beginning at 0, there's been only one Super Bowl winner that finished minus. The 15 Broncos were -4, but then finished, I think, +3, +4. And so you don't get a chance to clean the slate often, but 25 years and only one team. And I've told you the story about the Vikings championship game. They had 580 yards. We had 279. If you watch that game, every time Peterson touched the ball, it was a gain of 8, a gain of 9. 580 to 279, 5 turnovers. And now stay with me. We were +5 and it went into overtime. And so if you watch that game, this statistic at this stage is because it's sudden death. It's not a best of 7. It's not a bust. You lose a game if you're not being smart with the ball. But if you take it away, and tonight was a great example of that. And we talked about it starting tonight. And so it has to be intentional relative to punching the ball out. That has to be intentional. I thought we rushed the quarterback well and kind of kept him where we wanted him. Look, I would say that one of the key plays of the game was Jaquan's touchdown.
Well, certainly it was. It was the biggest play of the game. And I think the second biggest play of the game was the other turnover, the Bonito strip sack that instantly, now the Broncos offense rewarded the defense by literally going backwards, but because of how deep the Chargers were in their own territory, it directly led to more points on the scoreboard. But I do, I shudder to think what the complexion of that game looks like if J-Mac never takes that thing to the house. Because
it's a different ball game.
It was yes, and
maybe you see a red zone touchdown because McMillan was close enough in the red zone. So let's say he doesn't get in the end zone. Bo Nix, like they have to come up with something, right? Like maybe hand the ball off, score a touchdown that way.
Well, I mean, they marched down the field on the opening drive running the ball.
Looked so beautiful. I'm like, damn, put me in there, coach.
And then when it got to the tight red zone, they just started throwing it. I have no explanation for why that happened the way that it did, but they absolutely should have scored a touchdown on that opening drive.
Also I thought was interesting was when Sean was like, hey, we gave him the information. Meaning like they gave the defense information of like, hey, if you want to be a true elite defense, it's not just about the takeaways. You have to help us out by scoring some touchdowns, which the Super Bowl 50 team was able to do a couple times where you take a pick 6 to the house, which changed the game. This one from Jaquan McMillan changed the game. Now, what I would say to Coach Sean, and I know he isn't listening or cares what I have to say, is like,
I wouldn't assume that.
Take the information that you're giving something like the defense and gives a little information to the offense so that they can score in the red zone, because we need the offense to do their part. Hold their end of the deal. Score the touchdowns, and the defense is going to get the ball, takeaways, the 3 and outs. They're going to do their part, but offense needs to do theirs.
Who else stood out to you here on defense yesterday?
Stood out. I'm going to go with Justin Sternad.
That would have been mine had you asked me the same question.
Justin Sternad. Good thing I didn't ask you the same question, right?
Yes. You're working on your questions.
Next question. Justin Sternad, he definitely stood out, and he was coming off that ankle injury. He was able to get the sack. Good to have him back, knowing that Dre Greenlaw, no telling when he's going to get back in action. So at least you have someone like Justin Sternad who has played a lot of football here and has made some impact plays. The interception that changed that Giants game, that turned and swung the momentum our way. So it was good to see him out there.
No, it was great. He was everywhere, man. Sacking the quarterback, breaking up passes. That was really, really good to see. And Bonito, honestly, ended with a sack and a half. He could have had 3. He could have 3 because he had the one where he was just holding on, and Zach Allen came in and cleaned it up. They split that sack. He had the strip sack, which counts as a sack, of course. But he had the other one where he had Trey Lance dead to rights. Like that is like a pass rusher's wet dream is what he did. And then Lance,
the dream just got away from him.
Yeah, he woke up. I was like, wait, I was just about to. Wait, no! Now I'm awake. Put me back in it. But he shrugged him off like prime Ben Roethlisberger. Or you know who does that too is Mahomes. Mahomes is stronger, trunk than you would think. And Lance is not a little guy.
Do you feel confident with this defense moving forward? Did you see enough? Like this is, and it's hard to say that because you're going up against backups and it's a different feel. But did you see enough from the defense to say, hey, like we're going to be a problem, and I feel confident as long as they show up like this, we can win. Yeah,
I've seen enough. I saw enough yesterday, and I've seen enough this year that I'll say, yeah, like that group has earned the benefit of the doubt. It's only going to happen if they're playing their best football. That's the only way that the Broncos are going to accomplish all their goals here is if that side of the ball is playing their best football. And I would imagine here in 14 days, 13 days, that defense is going to come out flying around at home. So, all right, good conversation. You want to react to it, you can hit us up, ramoslaw.com, text line 303-713-1043. What did we make of the run game yesterday? And could we be in store for some miracle return to the running back room? Also, we will give you our biggest takeaways from yesterday's franchise record-tying 14th win because we are on the doorstep of 40 consecutive minutes of commercial-free sports talk coming up next.
The Broncos took care of business against the Chargers and closed out the regular season with a win. After a roller coaster season, does Sean Payton have his team dialed in for the playoffs? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
This week's Recovery of the Week is brought to you by Step Denver, the men's residential addiction recovery program in Lower Downtown. Our Recovery of the Week this week belongs to the Denver Broncos, who for the first time in 10 years are the champions of the AFC West. It was nothing but Chiefs since 2016, but that all changed this year when Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and this Bronco defense sit on top of the division. And that was our Recovery of the Week presented by Step Denver. And Derek from Step Denver is here with me this afternoon. Welcome, Derek. Talk to me about service.
Yeah, absolutely, Zach. One of my favorite quotes is from Gandhi, and he said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." I've learned that's where the real growth starts. The commitment is not only enjoyable, but I get to take what I was given and pay it forward. In this way, being of service to others builds up insurance for my own recovery. Service can take many forms, but all have one thing in common. They require you to show up. This teaches accountability and integrity in recovery. As a recovery support manager that's been through the program, I'm able to be an example and show men that service is doing the right thing even when it's inconvenient. I've had plenty of experience doing this myself, like sometimes that means driving through a snowstorm to a meeting or picking up calls in the middle of a night from brothers in recovery. This has happened to me on many occasions, and even though it may seem like an inconvenience, I always feel better afterwards. This not only reinforces accountability and integrity in the residents, but also in myself.
That's incredible. Giving back, removing self, helping others. If you are struggling with addiction or you want to make a donation to help the men who are calling STEP to get their life back today, visit stepdenver.org. That's stepdenver.org.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
When you've been serving Colorado as long as I have, you see a lot of new law firms come and go. Many of them aren't even from here. They don't know Colorado law the way we do. I'm Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. For 47 years, we've been fighting and winning for Coloradans. This is our home. We care about our community, and we care about the safety of every resident who lives here. So if you've been injured and need real Colorado experience on your side, call the Wilhite Law Firm, 303 Good Law. The Wilhite Law Firm, experience you can trust, results you can count on.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter Har Motors. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, on Reaction Monday, January 5th, less than 24 hours after the Denver Broncos wrap up the number 1 seed in the AFC.
How you think Sean celebrated it? I mean, you got to do something, right?
I mean,
A couple Kool-Aids, his lattes at least.
maybe a latte and a couple lattes and a... Oh, God, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
I'd celebrate.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, come on. We're going to be up in the club.
You should celebrate. You are the number 1 seed. You're not going to have a game for another couple weeks. I hope everyone celebrated. And you see, once again, and I'm bringing it up for the 50th time here, or the 150th time, who's in the locker room after the game? Who was in the locker room after the game a week ago, and the week before that, and before that? It's the ownership group. It's different. This is it's a new day. It's a new day in Broncos country, and number 1 seed for the 9th time in the history of this franchise. Looking back at the history of the 8 previous seasons that the Broncos have locked the number 1 seed, they've gone to the Super Bowl in 6 of the 8.
What did Michael Bublé say? It's a new dawn. It's a new day.
Mm-hmm.
New life. And I'm feeling good.
I love it. Here
we go.
What did you make of the run game yesterday? Did that make you feel good?
No, I did not. Why you have to do that, man?
Sorry.
No, man. I was upset with the run game, specifically with Sean not obeying his eyes to one of the running backs that was doing well at the beginning of the game. Now, the great thing about running backs is that you can interchange them, right?
Yeah.
Like, who is the hot man at that time? You ride the hot hand until he cools down. Well, at the time, it was Jalil McLaughlin, a guy that has been sitting back there doing your practice squad, a guy that has been waiting for his opportunity, biting at the bits to get out there. Finally, he's out there, and he's making the most of his opportunities, which is not a lot. I mean, I think it's 5 carries here, 6 carries there. Like, it's not a lot of carries, but the production is there. He's seeing the field well. He's a little bit more springier and explosive because he hasn't played a full year. And yet, in a game where you want to be able to control the clock and run the ball like you did at the beginning of that game, the first drive, you don't put Jalil in there. Now, I don't have anything against R.J. Harvey, and he has done some really good stuff this year.
Yes.
A couple of explosive plays. He's a touchdown machine, but it was not working for him. And Sean and the offensive coordinator, Lombardi, they were force-feeding RJ when it wasn't his time. Give Jalil those carries. What does it look like? Jalil had, what was it, 40 yards on 6 carries, a little over 41 yards on 6 carries. What if he gets 4 more carries? 6 plus 4, 10. 10 carries. Like, what does it look like then? Does he go for 80 yards? Does he break one? Do you get in the end zone because of it? I just want to see more of Jalil McLaughlin, and I think it would have been a lot better and a better showing running the ball if Jalil was running the ball more than just sitting there watching R.J. Harvey take all the carries.
It's strange to me. It feels strange to me because it was so abundantly obvious the dynamic between those two yesterday. And you know that the Broncos are putting an emphasis on this, and because if the Broncos aren't able to run the ball in the playoffs, they're not going to be playing for very long. So you have to try to figure this out. And you had one guy averaging 7 yards a carry and another guy averaging less than 2. The guy averaging less than 2 got 15 carries, and the guy averaging 7 yards a carry got 6. It
doesn't make any sense.
No, and I really don't think, and I'm not saying this is exactly what's happening because Sean Payton is calling these plays, and like I've never done anything like that. I'm on my couch watching, so it's very easy for me to say, dude, how can you not see this? But sometimes, these coaches, they can't see the forest through the trees, and he's calling these games, and he's got this undying belief in R.J. Harvey, and he might, and someone can call me crazy, and that's okay, but he might not even have realized in the moment that Jalil was averaging 7 yards a carry and R.J. Harvey was averaging 1.9.
Like, you're right. You're spot on right there. Like the moment's there. You're trying to figure things out. The offense is not doing well, but you're the head coach, so you're still focused and worried about the defense and special teams. And you look up and you're calling these plays, really not knowing who's in there. But at some point, if you have a running back that's sticking out like a sore thumb and he's getting to 5 yards to 6 yards, breaks a 10-yard run, how about you reward him more?
Right.
And that's your guy too. All right, do we forget that Sean brought in Jalil?
It's a great point.
That Sean has talked highly about Jalil. That Sean has went to the podium and said, hey, we need to get Jalil more involved. Well, that wasn't the case in this game. It was 6 carries. The other game, I want to say it was 5 carries, so maybe he got an extra carry and then caught a ball out of the backfield. But that is not enough when you're struggling or R.J. Harvey struggling at that time. This is going to take a village. It's going to take Bo Nix running for what he did, where he had 49 yards.
Yep.
It's going to take R.J. Harvey breaking some tackles, scoring the touchdowns in the red zone. It's going to take Jalil McLaughlin, being that spark player and ripping off a couple chunk plays that can get the team going and keep a defense honest.
Phil, I don't think it's going to happen, but I think Jalil should be the starter for the Broncos in the divisional round. He is just, and it's pretty obvious. Now, maybe not in the moment when you're calling plays and you're doing Sean's job, but it's pretty obvious here in the last few weeks. Jalil is just seeing it. He is just seeing it, and RJ is not. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use Harvey in a myriad of different ways in the divisional round. He's a weapon. You know he's going to get his carries and touches out of the backfield and all that stuff. But one guy is just seeing it different right now, and that's Jalil. And, did I expect to be saying this in, September?
I warned you.
No.
Man. I said put the bat signal up.
Yeah.
Jalil McLaughlin, come help us out. Come save us, because people aren't going to want to hear this, Zach. But J.K. Dobbins walking through those doors and being the same J.K. Dobbins that we're used to seeing, that one's not coming.
All right, so hold on. We got to talk about this, though, for a second, because Dobbins apparently is putting it out there that he could be back for the playoffs, and not just like the Super Bowl. Apparently, he was asked before the game, because he was down there. He was out and about. And we have not seen J.K. Dobbins, like in pregame or on the sidelines. Like, we have not seen Dobbins. And he was – now, I don't know if he was on the sidelines for the game. I don't remember seeing that. But he was out. Obviously, he played for the Chargers, and he plays for the Broncos, and he was greeting old teammates and saying hello to his current teammates and all this stuff. And he was asked, hey, could you be back for the Super Bowl? And he apparently responded sooner than that. I don't know, man. It feels like it's a setup for disappointment. He had Liz Frank surgery.
That's what I'm saying. You cannot rush an injury that you just had surgery on. And when you're dealing with little ligaments in your foot, and you have to run and you have to cut and you have to be able to accelerate and stop, like, it's hard to do. So even if you're J.K. Dobbins, like, why do you want to rush back when you know that you still have something left in the tank for a couple more years, and you want to be available for next year? And for the Denver Broncos, what version would you be getting? All right, like I said earlier, you're not getting the version that we're used to seeing, because he's been out for months. All right, how many months?
2 months. 2 months tomorrow.
2 months. So you're out of shape. You're not in football shape anymore. You haven't been hit for 2 months. So you mean to tell me you're all of a sudden going to put that helmet back on and you're going to start running the same, knowing that you're still going to be hurt because surgery? Just because you feel better doesn't mean that you're fully healed. All right, I had a wrist surgery, and Zach, that thing still hurts. So you're dealing with the pain, and you're hoping that nobody falls or does some kind of hip drop tackle to you again, and now you're back in the same spot you were before. I just don't see it happening. Would I love to see it happen? Yes, I would love to see J.K. Dobbins back in the mix, being who he is. Do I think it's going to happen, knowing what I know about some of these injuries? No, I don't think he's coming back around that corner. And I do usually believe in miracles. I just don't think this one's coming.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have to really start using my imagination. I really do. You talking about jumping back on a moving train, and like, you'll hear these players say, hey, the difference of speed between preseason, regular season to postseason, postseason to like AFC Championship game, Super Bowl speed. Like, I don't know. I'm just not like it. If somehow that happened, that would be that truly, to steal your word, that would be a miracle, in my opinion. And I'm not anticipating that happening at all. When you look at the lack of success in the run game in general, how much of it is on someone like R.J. Harvey in those 15 carries, averaging less than 2 yards a carry? But how much is on the offensive line? Because, man, it looks like that group is regressing in real time.
Zach, it's a mixture of three things in this game specifically. It's a mixture of the offensive line not winning their one-on-one battles, and there was a lot of times when R.J. Harvey would get the ball and somebody was already in the backfield. That's not on R.J. Harvey. The offensive line, who's being paid a lot of money, they have to do their part. They have to get off of double teams. They have to get some type of push and hold on to the blocks long enough. And R.J. Harvey, of course, he needs to do a better job of setting the blocks up. All right, this is where that saying slow to fast through, right? Explode through. Like, set your defenders up and make it easier for your offensive linemen to get that push. But also, with the offensive line, you got to win the battle. All right, you're getting paid a lot of money to move a guy a couple inches. Do that. But then I said there's three things that are wrong with this picture when it comes to the run game: the offensive line, the running back, but also Sean Payton's play calling when it comes to being creative enough. All right, now I know somebody out there saying, Phil, I'm tired of you saying that it matters as a running back. If you put a couple pullers in front of someone like R.J. Harvey or Jalil, it's easier to break that tackle, or maybe you don't have to break a tackle at all because that extra guy is picking up the blocker or the defender that would be the guy that you have to make miss. So it's about being creative with the misdirections and the motions and get these defensive linebackers and safeties out of place. And that's something that Sean Payton needs to do a good job of in the playoffs to help R.J. Harvey and Jalil out.
Well, to your point about some of the plays being dead on arrival for someone like R.J. Harvey, you remember the one on 3rd and 2.
Oh, boy, do I.
Holy mother of God.
My neck still hurts.
It was the dude who hasn't played yet this year. Marlo Wax. He whacks that ass. I mean, that dude,
I knew you were gonna say
that dude hit R.J. Harvey so hard. As soon as he got the ball, in his first game that he's ever played, he went to Syracuse, played for the Orange. He tried to make R.J. Harvey pulp. I mean, that was as good of just a collision. The timing of it, just, man.
Yeah, that was a bad play.
Yeah, the offensive line has some stuff to figure out here, before.
Soul searching. And they're getting banged up.
They are.
You have Garrett Bowes, the GB zone, messed his ankle up. People reported that it looked like a balloon at the end of that game in the locker room. Okay, Alex Forsythe is our backup center, and now he's dealing with an ankle injury. I don't know if he plays if we had to play next week. All right, Waltenberg, the starting center, he's out for the first couple playoff games. So the backbone of the offense is the offensive line. And they're starting to get banged up now. Ben Powers is back. He's rusty. Obviously, he missed a couple of blocks where it's like, come on, man. Like, usually you don't miss those.
Right.
So he has to get back into action, get in some rhythm. But something that definitely you have to keep your antennas up for, because the offensive line, if they don't do their part, then Bo Nix is not going to be able to get the ball off, and the run game is definitely not going to get going.
All right. Good conversation. You want to react to it? You can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. This is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive. Woo! And we are reacting to the Denver Broncos crossing the finish line of the regular season as the single best team in the AFC. We'll see about that, but the best record. The number 1 seed, the most wins in franchise history, tying, 14 wins. That is psychotic.
It is so hard to win in this league. I wish I could get 14 wins. I can't even get 14 wins in Madden. All right, so 14 wins for the Denver Broncos, and the way that they won these games, 11 one-score games, where they're able to find a way to be on top of those one-score games.
11 one-score games.
Come on.
It's an NFL record.
Come on.
It's literally an NFL record. It's very exciting, okay? That's not to say that there's not things to fix. There is. Yesterday, I mean, how frustrated were you during the game? I mean, the team is getting booed off the field by the hometown crowd. What was your level of frustration or concern watching that yesterday?
I would lie to you if I sat here and said I wasn't frustrated. I was frustrated. I'm a fan now. I want to see fireworks. I want to see Bo Nix drive down the field every time he touches the ball and score some touchdowns. I want to see R.J. Harvey break for a 30, 40-yard run. Jalil break for a 30, 40-yard run. I want to see the offense do their part. And I wanted to see Jarrett Stidham step into the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, me too.
So when looking at that game, I was very frustrated because it was for the taking. This is for the number 1 spot, the number 1 seed. You're going up against a bunch of backups. You're at home field advantage, Bronco country going crazy. All right, you have one of the best coaches in the league that is your play caller, and it was very vanilla and bland, and it's something that can't happen in the playoffs, as we know. So I was frustrated just watching that game because we made it harder than we had to, and it seems like that has been the case this whole entire year.
Well, there's a lot to clean up. All right, Sean Payton was the first to say that, both at halftime to the sideline reporter and after the game. I mean, Sean, this was another one of these wins where if you read the transcript and don't watch the press conference and you just read the transcript on paper, kind of like text messaging, like sometimes the tone can get lost or twisted. And if you just watched Sean on the presser and muted the TV, he looked like he had lost. And
how frustrated were you?
I was very frustrated.
I noticed some of your hair is missing. Were you pulling some of your hair out?
Yeah, I was a little bit. I was laying 14. So, no, but I was frustrated because this is not something new. Unfortunately, we've seen other games like this. In fact, I think we've seen other games offensively like yesterday just as often as we have seen some of the high moments, for the offense. And when you think of some of the high moments for this offense, I think of Green Bay. I think of the Dallas game. Of course, there's real context to that. I think of the Bengals game. Of course, there's real context to that. If you want to throw the Colts game in there when they finished with 28 points, you can throw that in there. But you could also look to, the maddening nature of the first 3 quarters of that Giants game where they were getting booed off the field and people were leaving. The Thursday night slog that was getting, made fun of nationally.
Yeah, that was ugly.
You could think of,
the Jets one.
The Jets game, the Jacksonville game, the Kansas City Thursday night Christmas game. I mean, there's as many of those slogs, if not more, than the highest moments. And
I think the concerning part about what you just listed there with some of these teams is we played against backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Or Justin Fields, who didn't have a good year.
No.
So and we look like that, and we had to find ways to win those games with backup quarterbacks, or a team like the Dallas Cowboys that had 5 or 6 practice squad players playing in that game.
As you walk away from yesterday's win, what do you think was your biggest takeaway?
The biggest takeaway for me, Zach, was our defense and special teams is ready to roll. The backbone of this team is defense. We know that we are not going anywhere without the defense. They were able to get the turnovers that Sean was asking. Asking, you shall receive. Okay, J-Mac was able to get a pick 6. We were able to get a strip sack from Nick Bonito. So, those things, those are trending in the right directions heading into the playoffs. Special teams has saved us in a couple of these games, and Will Lutz has become a major part of the reason why we're scoring points.
By the way, real quick, not to get you sidetracked, Will Lutz has now gone 2 straight years. This is insane. 2 straight years, no missed extra points.
Clutch.
You know how uncommon? I watch it every Sunday like you do. We see missed extra points every single week. Look at the kick last night for the Ravens. It was 20-something yards. These kickers miss kicks all the time. To go 2 straight years without missing an extra point is wild.
That's why they call him Will Lutz with the big you-know-whats. He comes up big, and we're gonna have to count on him to make it happen in the playoffs, because it may be that 54-yard field goal. We have altitude and you can kick a further distance to win that game for us against, let's just say, the Houston Texans. Who knows?
Sure.
All right, the Chargers to get to the Super Bowl. We may need to lean on the special teams, or maybe even Marvin Mims having that spark play like he had last night or yesterday, where he was able to get 25, 30 yards or something like that to kind of light a fire up under the offense and give us good field position. So the thing I took out of that game was the defense is ready to roll. And special teams, we can trust and count on them as well. Offensively, I'm still trying to figure out where we're at and honestly what the identity of the offense is now that JK hasn't been available.
Well, if you ask that question, and we've been asking it since September.
Well, let me ask you, does the Denver offense have an identity? And then, of course, I'm going to ask you what the biggest takeaway for you
No,
is.
I don't know how to answer that question. What, and just saying it a different way, to the identity question, what's the best thing that the Broncos do on offense? I really don't know. I don't know. They don't run it at a high level anymore, okay? They don't pass it at a high level. By the way, do you see Bo Nix most passing attempts in NFL football this year?
Are you surprised?
No.
That's Sean's cue.
It is his cue. I'm just as a rookie, he was 6th, and as a second-year player, he's number 1. I don't know, man. And by the way, since we're right here, and I guess it all blends together, he did not look good yesterday.
No.
Bo looked, he
wasn't bowing.
He was not bowing. I mean, he was missing layups, getting frustrated, and just, I don't know. Bo has been the ultimate winner. Bo has dog in him. I mean, yesterday after the win, it's his 24th win. By the end of his second season, it's the most wins in the history of NFL football in the first 2 seasons, tied with Russell Wilson.
So I guess the identity becomes Bo Nix.
Yeah, yes. You know what? It's same as last year. It's Bo making a play. It's Bo somehow, some way making a play with his arms, with his legs. I just don't know, he doesn't do it at a high enough level as like a Lamar Jackson historically or a Josh Allen. So like if that's the number one attribute is Bo Nix making plays, I don't know, man. It's unsettling. It's unsettling is how I would phrase it.
If you're sitting here and you're looking at these games, the 17 games to watch, and you think that you can go into the playoffs and be the version that you just were yesterday or even against the Kansas City Chiefs, that's not good enough.
No.
Against the Jags. That's not good enough against Houston or the Chargers or the Buffalo Bills. Like, something has to give. And I just don't know if it's ever going to be something than what it is right now offensively. Like, I look at this team. Who can be that explosive guy that you can count on if you have to go blow for blow?
That you can count on?
Yeah, just say the Jacksonville game.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, Sutton didn't catch his first pass till 5 minutes left in the third.
Court had 5 yards. He had 5 yards yesterday. One reception, 5 yards.
And Troy Franklin had 0 yards.
Yeah.
And he's been your second receiver. This is the ultimate. The Denver Broncos right now are the ultimate two things can be true at the same time. Truly, because this is a 14-win team. You don't accidentally get to 14 wins, but when you put a magnifying glass over how they got here and what they do well, and then put it over the offense, you know what it is? It's a ton of throws at or behind the line of scrimmage. It's a ton of screens. There's no real run game to speak of. That's like through the landscape of the NFL, like doing it at a high level in that league. It's not the tight end position has been disappointing, despite Ingram actually leading the team in receiving yesterday.
Look at that, man. And even that throw was kind of off.
Yes, it was.
If Bo would have hit him right on the money, it would have been a touchdown.
It would have been. And so even his best play yesterday was a throw that was off, And so the good news is you have a ton to clean up, and you have some time to do it. But I'd be being disingenuous if I sat here and told you I'm expecting this thing to look, wildly different here in 13 days.
So then what was your biggest takeaway of the game? Was it how bad the offense played?
No, I think it was. I think my biggest takeaway was, I was frustrated by the offense, but I think my biggest takeaway, what I'll take with me is lower the expectation for the offense. This is a team who wins ugly, that makes you feel uncomfortable and unsettled during these games, but they keep on finding a way to do it.
Lean on the defense.
Yeah.
Put yourself in good situations. Win in crunch time moments.
Win on special teams.
Win on special teams. Make it close to where you have to drive down and kick a field goal to win the game, not a touchdown, because we're not doing that right now. We don't get to the red zone and score touchdowns. But if you can keep the game close to where it's hey, we can drive down far enough to where Will Lutz can kick that game-winning field goal. That's what the Denver Broncos have done.
And I'm struggling with something a bit here, and we have gotten so many different questions or statements about this throughout the afternoon on the RamosLaw.com text line. And I'll just read one that represents a couple hundred others. Tyler, a native in Windsor, says, this may sound stupid, but do you think Sean Payton is holding back plays, formations, strategies back for the playoffs? And he's waiting to show his hand. He says he loves the show. Well, appreciate you, brother.
There's never a stupid question, by the way, Tyler.
Nope, not when Phil's around. I think that I'm not going to go too far down this path. I'm really not. That, hey, the Broncos struggled to the degree that they did yesterday because it was some grand plan that Sean Payton is just withholding all the good plays, and that was a game to run all the bad plays. And I'm like,
he wasn't trying to run the bad plays. It's the simple plays. It's the plays that we saw during camp, the vanilla plays, where it's hey, if you want these plays to work, you have to win your one-on-one matchup. If you play man, the receiver has to beat the guy off the line of scrimmage. If you want an explosive play on a dive play, which it seemed like that's what they were running, not at the beginning of the game, but as the game went on, just vanilla run plays where there was no creativity, no pullers, no misdirection, no motions, none of that. Like, I do believe that Sean was holding back a little bit. His game plan was simple, and he was going to stick with that, knowing that they can beat them because of the defense.
Well, I would say this.
I'm with Tyler.
If you, like, I'm more of the camp that they weren't as aggressive as they would have been otherwise. But I still struggle with this because this is Sean Payton leading up to the game, repeatedly emphasizing we are treating this like a playoff game. And I believed him and still believe him, though, because you're playing for the number 1 seed, the top seed. It's everything. Where half of every Super Bowl winner comes out of the number 1 seed and gets that bye.
No,
and I think,
don't believe Sean then. Don't believe what Sean said.
oh, come
right
on.
there.
You don't believe that he was operating like that was a playoff game?
No, because there was no creativity. Now, last year, the last game of the year against the Kansas City Chiefs, where you needed to win, we tend to forget we had to win that game in order for us to get into the dance, get into the playoffs. And when that game started, Sean was very creative from the start, off the bat.
Yeah, he was.
He had a motion, fake run, it was a pass to Marvin Mims that was an explosive touchdown run. He was throwing bombs to Cortland Sutton, and Cortland was able to get to 1,000 yards that game because of a couple bombs that Bo Nix threw down the field. We didn't see one bomb towards Cortland's way. We didn't see Troy Franklin open up one time. Everything was behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage, a couple screens to the running backs. You mean to tell me that right there was a playoff or a must-win game calling sheet that he had? Very vanilla, Zach.
No, you want to know what? I can maybe meet you in the middle.
Come all the way over.
Of more vanilla. Where I can't go is that the Broncos were just so, with a heavy hand, we're just hiding everything. And here's why. Because we've watched this offense all year. What, have they been hiding it all year? Waiting for this one moment in the divisional round? Like, this wasn't a one-off game. The Broncos offense has been disjointed since the summer. So, like, I just can't chalk it up to, hey, he's playing poker, man. He's playing, like, I can't
but
do
also,
that.
like, come on. You know that he has some creative plays. Sean Payton has
he
some
does,
creative
yes.
plays, especially in the red zone. There was none of that. It was line up, and the thing that Sean did wrong when it came to the red zone was just hand the ball off. Hand the ball off. That was what was working early. Just hand the ball off, score the touchdowns that way. No, you wanted to get your Q involved, get your quarterback a touchdown, and it didn't work out because of that. So, like, that's my take on things. Do I think that they went in there saying this was going to be an easy win? No. They still had it, and Sean was trying to put it in their heads like, hey, this is important.
Yeah.
But it's also hard to get 52 or 60 men to buy in, knowing that you're getting ready to play a bunch of second string and practice squad players.
See, this is more of it, I think.
And you know that you could probably beat them with your eyes closed if you're a starter.
Yeah, and you know, I go back to what Bo said after the game, and maybe we can replay that. Here, I'll play it here. This is Bo after the game, whether they're an underdog or an overdog, and learning from. Well, you know what? Let's play this one first. Here's Bo after the game saying that he should have done a better job.
Well, I should have done a better job today, having more urgency in the huddle, getting us going. I felt like I failed us on that. Overall, I thought we didn't play with the tempo and the passion we normally play with. Now, there's a lot that goes into that. It's week 18, it's the last game of the year. Get kind of up 10-0 weird early, and it's just a strange football game. You prepare for one thing all week and then get something different. You don't know who's going to show up. So, I got to do next time we get in that spot, I got to have better urgency, be a little bit of a spark myself, and then the rest of the guys will do the same.
Well, he sort of hinted at it right there, and I think that I really don't think that you can emphasize this enough. When you say we didn't play with the same passion,
yeah,
and you say you're preparing for something all week, and then you find out these guys aren't playing, and he said, if I'm ever in this position again, I have to be a better spark. I do wonder if it's as simple as, and look, the Broncos offense has had issues all season long, so I'm not letting them off the hook in just this one game, okay? But when you know, and you said this earlier in the show, you said, I think Jim Harbaugh put it out there that these guys weren't playing early in the week on purpose.
Yeah, that right there was unique, and that was smart. Like Jim was playing chess and not checkers.
Yeah, because typically you withhold anything you can so the other team has to prepare for whatever, and then
for everything.
Yeah, and it just occupies more of your bandwidth. But when you're told early in the week, hey, Herbert's not playing, Derwin James isn't playing.
Marlon Hampton, the starting running back, he's not playing. We already don't have our 2 starting tackles.
Right.
I mean, now as a player, Zach, you get a little comfortable. You start feeling yourself saying, okay, like nobody is playing. They're not taking this game serious.
Yes.
Like if we just go out there and just play our type of football, we should be able to sit by the fourth quarter. That was my guess in their thought process. So you go into the huddle, and Bo Nix is not as commanding in the sense of urgency. Is just not there like it usually is. Maybe it's like, hey guys, focus up. Hey, this is what it's gonna be. Get ready. Maybe it's like, hey, I right 22 dive on the break, ready, and you just get in and out of the huddle with no sense of urgency, like Bo Nix just got done saying.
Yeah,
that's how you get your face kicked in, or you get punched in your mouth.
Yeah, because even those guys that were backups, like we mentioned, the guy Wax playing for the first time,
waxing that ass.
Marlo Wax from Syracuse. Yes, like come on, like that guy's a player.
Yeah.
Now, what's his future? I have no idea, but like that guy got a rare opportunity and played like his pants were on fire. I didn't see any Denver Bronco, especially on offense, playing like their pants were on fire. And, that's like there's some human stuff in there too. That like when you're told the best players aren't playing you, and I don't think you can emphasize this enough, a year ago you're in the same spot. Different stakes, but same spot. Week 18, winning you're in. This was week 18 when you have the number 1 seed, and you win 38-0, and you're told in the same fashion that these guys aren't going to play. I think it's fair to speculate that this was a group that thought this was going to come easy, and it didn't.
So a mixture of a group that wasn't prepared to play. Obviously, that's what we're talking about right here.
Yep.
And a vanilla play calling by Sean.
Yeah, a vanilla, a conservative.
Conservative, I love it.
Or if you want to say vanilla, game plan, and then that's how you get to this point. And so, get to this point. This point is they're the number 1 seed. They're 14-3. But the point in the game where you scored 1 touchdown and it was on defense. And I look back at that and say, man, if J-Mac doesn't take that one to the crib, the texture of the game takes on a way different life. And I wonder if the mindset from Sean Payton may have changed without that, pick six.
All you have to do is tweak it a little bit. You can throw out a play call because it's week 17.
18.
Week 18. Like, you've been through the whole playbook. You don't have to rep every single play to go out there and execute it. And all Sean had to do is say, okay, we're going to go deep. We're going to get Cortland Sutton involved since he only had 1 catch, get him going 50-50 on a man route, and let's kind of generate some kind of explosiveness from there. But he didn't do that because he knew that the defense was going to be able to continue to do what they're doing. He was going to lean on the kicking game, as you see, and he was going to stick with this vanilla game plan, conservative game plan, and then go from there.
All right, a fascinating journey to how the Broncos got to 14-3. We can continue to get into some of the RamosLaw.com text line and get your guys' reaction real quick on the way out here. Cowboy Dave in Arvada says, could I get a shout out to my alma mater, the Montana State Bobcats? Also, Alex Singleton's alma mater. They are playing in the FCS National Championship game tonight. Go Cats, go. Absolutely. I am definitely going to watch the FCS National Championship, and we are laying the points and going with Montana State. Okay. Sean Payton called out a media member in a way that was, well, we'll let you decide coming up next.
The Broncos win their 14th game of the season and finished as the number 1 team in the AFC. With an extra week to prepare, will the Broncos move 1 step closer to a Super Bowl return? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and yet the results last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Dr. Tanya Paul's and Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment using your own natural hair. Advanced Hair restores your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning, and they guarantee your new hair will grow for life. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Hey Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. You know, in the game of life, our most valuable asset is our health. With the right equipment, you can train like a pro. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
For the fitness fanatic on your Christmas list, save big this holiday season. At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
Hey guys, feeling cooped up this winter? Mark Schlereth here. You know these Colorado nights can get freezing cold with your furnace running non-stop just to keep things cozy. But here's the thing. While your heating system is working overtime, it's also blowing dust, dirt, and debris through your air ducts and straight into the air you breathe. That's where Ductworks comes in. Your trusted air duct cleaning experts. Using a powerful combination of scraping and vacuuming technology, the Ductworks team clears out years of buildup, grime, and other gunk hiding in your ductwork. The results? Cleaner, fresher air, better energy efficiency, and a healthier home or office for you and your family. Don't wait until spring. Breathe easier now with top-rated service from Ductworks. Call them at 303-425-0985 or visit them online today at ductworks.com for a free residential or commercial estimate.
303-425-0985.
A lot of personal injury lawyers make claims about how good they are. But how do you know who's the best? Who will fight to get you the money you deserve? At Berg Simpson, we don't rely on simple claims like other firms. We have 27 best lawyers in America, 17 super lawyers, and we're one of the National Trial Lawyers' top 25 most influential law firms. Compare us to other firms, then call Berg Simpson.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Imagine your home quieter, cooler, and more beautiful with the new Infinity from Marvin windows. Right now, Gravina's Window Center of Littleton is offering 25% off. These aren't ordinary windows. They're built to outlast, outperform, and turn heads. Family owned since 1973, trusted across Colorado, and they never cut corners. Call them 303-794-0490 or visit windowsforyourhome.com. Don't delay. Quality costs less than regret.
Done right kitchens, baths, finished basements, windows, and doors. Brand new year? How about a brand new room or rooms? Hi, Dan Cicchini here. All new kitchen layout and a beautiful new look with a professionally designed total kitchen replacement or possibly a renew of that outdated kitchen with our own unique cabinet refacing and new countertops. Oh yeah. And Todd, what about those other special spaces?
Well, Dad, leaky, moldy, ugly bathrooms? Oh boy, not a space to feel good about. We can help with turnkey shower replacement and more if the entire room needs updated. And is your dingy basement just asking to become an awesome lower level? We'll handle it all start to finish.
All right, Todd, with great pricing options available and bank financing, our schedule's filling fast. Since 1985, kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, windows, and doors. Done right. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. Come see us at drhi.com. Thanks.
It's Reaction Monday, powered by Silter Har Motors. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Bottom half of hour number 4 here on a Reaction Monday. And we're going to hear from Sean Payton here in just a second. And lots of reaction on the RamosLaw.com text line.
You gotta love it. Gotta love it. How many of those texters are calling us a bunch of names, Zach?
It varies. There's a lot of people who are deeply concerned about the ceiling of the team. There's others that are kind of, how would I say, like, they don't want to hear any critique of a team that's 14-3. And I understand that. I really do. I understand it. And,
but everybody gets critiqued. I mean, guys, you go to that facility, it may feel like you lost the game. Because you're going to dissect the film. You're not going to like what you see. Sean's not going to be a happy camper with his offense. He wanted at least 24, 30 points on a second string defense. All right, he wants the team feeling good about themselves. He wants to feel good about himself. You have to be able to take constructive criticism. Like, that's part of the gig.
Sure.
No matter what you do.
Sure. And when the team is getting booed off the field and the head coach is saying, this is not the half of football that I expected, and then after the game, from an optics standpoint, looks like he lost the game and is frustrated, like, I think it's okay. And look, I've been saying this for years. I'm never going to tell another fan how to fan, right? If you want to worship the team because they're 14-3, you have every right to. 14-3 should be worshipped. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be looking under the hood and saying, is this going to be good enough through the lens of a Super Bowl?
Can we win a Super Bowl looking like we did?
No, not yesterday. Not yesterday. Nope.
I'm asking everybody, can we win a Super Bowl looking like we did yesterday?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely
so then
not.
Things have to change.
Yep.
You have to figure out what's wrong. All right, technique. All right, you have to work on your technique if you're offensive lineman and you're giving up a tackle in the backfield. Bo Nix, work on your technique and don't cloud your mind so that when you do have an open receiver, you hit on him for an explosive play. Like, there's things that you can learn from that game.
Someone says, is it possible to be a little concerned with how our offense is playing, but also not care how it looks as long as we win? I would win every playoff game 9-3 if we could go and win the Super Bowl. No, of course. Look, of course, the problem is, though, the plan going into a game is never to win it 9-3. But would you take it? Yeah, of course. Are you kidding me? Because here in 13 days or whatever it is, like, it doesn't matter how it looks.
Just win.
It's just win, right? But it's also fair to say, man, that made me really uncomfortable, and it's looked this way throughout the year. And if you have that type of performance in 13 days that you had yesterday, your season's going to be over. Like, that's going to be maddening, because here's what you're not going to be able to say. You're not, if they lose in the divisional round because their offense can't score and it's continually struggling in the red zone the way that it has,
or they can't run the football.
Can't run it. You will not be able to say, you'll be able to say a lot of stuff, but you won't be able to say, I didn't see this coming. You won't be able to say that. So it's got to get fixed. Anyone with an actively working brain who watches this critically agrees, including Sean Payton. Chief among them is Sean Payton. So, and let me just say this too. Like, and I mentioned this earlier in the show. your perspective can change, and what's acceptable 2 years ago to what's acceptable right now, or what's acceptable last September or earlier this September to what's acceptable now, like, can change because we're viewing it through a Super Bowl lens. And I gave you a silly example. Many, many years ago, lobster was looked at like a trash, poor person's food, to the point where they would feed them to prisoners in prison. And they'd feed them so much to prisoners that there had to be laws enacted that you can't do it every meal, because they were feeding the prisoners lobster every single meal because there was so much of them, and they were looked at as poor people food. And then now today, you've got to pay $50 to have it with your steak. The lobster didn't change, but our perspective on the lobster changed. So I think that's a part of when we have these conversations about the Broncos, our perspective has changed. And we're holding them to a Super Bowl standard.
Yes. Just like we did with the Denver Nuggets, like we do with the Colorado Avalanche.
Correct.
I mean, like, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, but also you have to play your best brand of football, hockey, basketball in order to get to the mountaintop. So we're critiquing this team and what it looked like yesterday. And yesterday's performance was not good enough. Offensively. You're not beating New England with the offense looking like that. You're not beating Houston. Hell, you're not beating Pittsburgh with the offense looking like that. So things have to change. You have to start with looking at yourself, if you're Bo Nix, if you're the run game, if you're the offensive line, if you're the offense in general, and get things turned around.
Yeah. All right, here is Sean Payton after the game. Now, this is a really unique what you're going to hear. Sean they say one of one. He is one of none. Okay, Sean is just different. He's his own cat. And so he's asked about cleaning up the mistakes, but within his response, he calls out Mark Kisla of the Denver Post, columnist from the Denver Post, who personally I'll share I've had
he's a good dude.
A lot of interactions with Kiz through the years, and some spirited debates. I mean, dude, and you might remember this, but like me and him were at each other's throats 2 NBA postseasons ago because he told me that Anthony Edwards was better than Kobe Bryant ever was. And I almost committed a felony at Ball Arena with a credential around my neck. And
I remember reading something from Kisla when I was playing and about how they shouldn't tender me. And I was upset with him. So, I mean, like, I feel Sean. I feel him like I'm the same way.
Well, here is Sean, and he goes on beyond his shot, and it was a direct shot. He goes on to talk about cleaning up mistakes and praising the fans.
Am I ever happy? No. All right. But we shouldn't be as coaches. I know fewer words have never been spoken, Mark. Speak up, because you're always here, but you always never make eye contact, never have any questions, but you have a lot to write. But I think that's a good trait.
Hold on, dude. that was
out of nowhere.
It's just so aggressively Sean. Like, and speak up. Like,
so was Sean like? Was Kisla asking him a question?
I really don't know. And
or were you whispering something?
I don't know. Yes, I do think it was Kisla's question.
Okay.
I think, and excuse me, I think he works for the Denver Gazette nowadays. I don't think he works for the Post anymore. Forgive me. But that was just that is uncomfortable.
Speak up.
That is uncomfortable. And you never make eye contact. I mean, that's just like so good. It's so good. All right, here's more of Sean.
Am I ever happy? No. All right. But we shouldn't be as coaches. I know fewer words have never been spoken, Mark. Speak up, because you're always here, but you always never make eye contact, never have any questions, but you have a lot to write. But I think that's a good trait. There's some things when we watch that film that will be like, When people ask, like, all right, what's the benefit of the 1 seed? Many will say it's the rest. I personally think it's the elimination of a game that you don't have to play. Our fans were fantastic. Man, I'm proud of our team. You know, to sit here with 14 wins and line them up, and all you can do is play them. You can't control when you're playing them. This game ended up being a little bit like last year's finish to Kansas City. You know, at the beginning of the week, there's a couple players. And then as the week's going on, you're hearing more and more. And as a coach, how do I say it? And I referenced the COVID games where you were going into a game, and this one here was different. But when you're on the other side of it and you find out your running backs are all out, And I asked the GM, what about the running back coach? He's out too. And like that kind of challenge you like. But it's the ones when they're the opposite where you feel like you have everything to lose and nothing to gain. But we had a lot to gain tonight. And to be able to host the divisional round is significant. Yeah, we got to clean some things up, and we will. We'll be ready.
Yes, we have some things to clean up. And there's some things we'll watch on film and go, oh, you know, he said, but we'll be ready. We'll be ready. So,
I mean, there's one thing that Sean's going to do is he's going to teach. You know, he's a really good teacher.
yeah.
Attention to detail. The team is going to be well prepared. Now, they got to go out there and make plays. Players make plays. Players win games for you. But he's going to make sure that this team is prepared and ready to go come playoff time.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't – it wasn't Kisla's question, but I think Kisla mumbled something underneath his breath.
Oh, okay. Sean heard it.
Right? Yeah, he did. He's like, well, speak up. You don't even ask questions. You come here, you don't make eye contact, but you have so much to write. I mean, goodness gracious. That is in the Sean Hall of Fame. We're going to put it on the iPad. All right. The Broncos won a football game. That means we give away game balls, and we'll do exactly that next.
The Broncos followed up their 2024 season by winning 14 games, reclaiming the AFC West and securing a first-round bye in the playoffs. Are the Broncos destined for a return to Santa Clara for Super Bowl 60? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
You still thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy. IT? Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI. That's what I did. Really? How? Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up. Sweet. Are classes online or on campus? Both. Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Most people don't think about their garage door until it stops working. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. There's never a good time for your garage door to break, whether you're rushing to work or you're trying to get the kids to school. We know how much you rely on your garage door. That's why we offer same-day repairs, because life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage door is what we do, but making your life easier and your home safer is why we do it. Families trust us because we deliver, and we'd be honored to earn your trust too. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Oh,
Wow.
that's the sound of flavor hitting just right. HelloFresh helps you cook fresh, delicious, wholesome meals every weeknight for a healthier you in each bite. From hearty falafel power bowls to juicy one-pan enchiladas, this is more than just dinner. It's feel-good made from scratch. Now hear that? That's what you bring to the table. HelloFresh. Nothing hits like home cooking. Try now at HelloFresh.com.
I'm Rob Wilhite, and for almost 50 years, my firm has stood beside families recovering from car accidents. We live here, we work here, and we fight for people here. Over the years, we've helped our clients win more than $1 billion, giving them the compensation they deserve. If you've been injured in an accident, you don't have to face it alone. Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WillHiteWins.com. That's 303-GOOD-LAW or WillHiteWins.com. We're here for Coloradans when it matters most.
Download to see if you qualify for Albert Instant Advance. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription is required for Instant Advance. Please see the Albert app or albert.com for subscription pricing. Subscriptions can be canceled at any time.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money. Have you tried the Albert app? You can get up to a $1,000 advance fast to pay for car repairs, bills, rent, groceries, whatever you need. Plus, Albert can help you find ways to save and give you a custom budget to actually grow your money.
Albert can get me up to $1,000?
Exactly. But they do more than get you up to $1,000. Albert is your financial assistant, helping you budget, save, and spotting you money in a pinch.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code PLAN to get up to $1,000 for your bills, rent, groceries, and more. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code PLAN to get up to $1,000. Use code PLAN to get up to $1,000.
This new year, don't just make a resolution, make a transformation with SodaWeightLoss.com. Clients routinely look and feel 10 years younger like I did when I lost 60 pounds a few years ago with SodaWeightLoss.com, and it's never coming back. And right now, the perfect gift for you both. Look and feel 10 years younger for the price of one. Soda is the #1 weight loss company in America for client satisfaction and results, just like me. Visit SodaWeightLoss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Soda Weight Loss is, say it with me, state of the art.
Women go through many changes in their lives. And we believe each milestone matters. That every new candle represents another step in your story. Our healthcare experts support women at every stage of life. Because each chapter deserves to be celebrated. Women's health. Nurture what's next. Find care near you at mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health. Human kindness lives here.
Tune into Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's
I'll just go with the obvious answer. I'll go with the obvious answer, and that is Jaquan McMillan. J-Mac making a play on that ball changed the football game. And, you know, I don't even want to think about what the complexion of that game unfolds into if that play is not made, because it was everything. I mean, it was the only touchdown of the afternoon, and goodness, having that 10-0 lead, I think, also allowed Sean Payton to be more conservative and not really, push, the offensive envelope, if you will. And J-Mac just, he has been so good for these Denver Broncos. This is a guy that I didn't think was going to be starting. We had a bet. I had to buy a Shedeur Sanders perfect timing shirt.
Perfect timing.
Because it was...
Shame on you. You went for Jade Barron, the crystal.
I did. Shame on me for thinking the first rounder was going to play. What an idiot he is. But J-Mac has been great. J-Mac has put money in his pocket, and that was a game-changing play. And
he has money what you think. What is it? Money in the bank.
Shorty, what you drink. Yes.
Drink.
Yeah. I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shorty, what you drink.
There we go.
I'm trying to remember, who was that?
No.
Like, was it T-Pain?
Was it Lil Scrappy?
Lil Scrappy, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was Lil Scrappy.
Yeah.
But yeah, J-Mac, I mean, how many times do you make a play that changes the complexion of an entire game and locks up a number one seed? I don't know what happens if that play doesn't take place.
I mean, no doubt that was the biggest play of the game with J-Mac doing that, scoring the touchdown. Ask and you shall receive, Sean. You wanted more out of your defense when it comes to turnovers, the strip sack for Nick Bonito, the pick six from J-Mac, and honestly, there could have been another pick six from Riley Moss if he would have caught the ball. So we're going to work on his hands. So
Singleton, too, could have had a
another
pick.
one. Yeah, so, I mean, it's there. It's there for the taking. Hopefully, the trend continues to trend upwards when we get to the playoffs, which is around the corner here now.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, J-Mac, I would have loved to give him the game ball. You give him the game ball. The next guy up has to be Will Lutz.
Will Lutz?
Come on now, Zach. If it wasn't for J-Mac, we were going to lean on Will Lutz to get to kick the field goals and have no fear. We would have still won the game because of him. He would have been able to knock down a couple more field goals. Now, I know they're 3 points, but hey, Lutz is clutch. And you came up with the stat, right? It's been 2 straight years.
2 straight years hasn't missed an extra point.
There you go.
Crazy.
Mr. Clutch, Will Lutz with the big you-know-whats. So I'm going to give him my game ball because, one, he deserves it. He's the only other guy that was scoring points for us. And another reason, we know we're going to have to lean on him, and we're going to need him in the postseason. Maybe it's at the end of the game, and Bo Nix is driving down the field, home field advantage. Broncos country going crazy. 54-yard field goal. Will Lutz hits it down, straight down the middle, and we move on. So Will Lutz gets the game ball because of what he did yesterday.
Wow. Well, I'm not going to call you crazy. He's the most accurate kicker in the history of the Denver Broncos, quite literally. I was just thinking that Nick Benito,
he missed a couple opportunities. I mean, he had a Trey Lance right in front of him, and he lets him go.
Well, that was one play. There was another where he deliberately strip sacked him in a way that, again, I mean, the offense doesn't do anything with it. They go backwards 2 yards, but that directly led to points on the board, and he had an additional half sack as well. Probably should have been that should have been a 3-sack game for Nick Benito. Yeah. It should have been, and he ends with a 1.5, and in doing so, has a career high now. A career high. I wonder where he ranks in the league. You see Myles Garrett set his record?
I did.
Will you look at that as the authentic sack record, or because he had another game to do it and did it in the final game, you don't quite look at it the same?
I mean, I listen to Strahan, and I do understand where he's coming from as well. I mean, he did it in 16 games. So I'm going to look at it like, hey, if you can't get it done in 16 games, of course you did it. It's hard to do it. You're on a bad team. You're being double-teamed, and yet you were still able to break the record. But you got an additional game.
Right.
So, of course, you have another opportunity that a lot of these men didn't have. That's just like going for 1,000 yards. Like, if it takes you all 17 games to go to 1,000 yards, but there's running backs before you that are doing it in 16, 15, 14 games, Zach.
Mr. Phillip
I'm
Lindsay.
just saying.
There's gonna be like another Denver. This 10 years from now, like a Denver-born player who is gonna need that. He's undrafted. The hometown story. He's going to need the 17th game to get to 1,000 yards. I'm going to ask you how you feel about it.
I'm going to be like Michael Strahan. I'm going to do exactly him. I mean, it took him 17.
Oh, my
How do you feel about it?
It's just different. Sports are always evolving.
Yeah.
Before it was 16 games, it used to be 14 games.
That's true.
O.J. Simpson ran for 2,000 yards in 14 games. And so, but that gets put side by side with, Jamal Lewis or whoever else did it. It's just kind of the way things are. So,
congratulations, big fella. I mean, he still did it.
Yeah.
It's hard to do like I said before, on a very bad team.
They carried him off the field.
Shelby Harris giving the referees high fives. I mean,
unbelievable. Cap off a 5-12 campaign. Let's just carry everyone off the field.
Perfect time.
Yeah.
Got the coach fired.
Yes. Yeah, literally. Our coach of the year is fired. Let's carry each other off the field. We finished 5-12. All right. We'll leave it there for now, guys. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We step aside. It's Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
The Broncos took care of business against the Chargers and closed out the regular season with a win. After a roller coaster season, does Sean Payton have his team dialed in for the playoffs? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What is going on, gentlemen? Happy Victory Monday, and guys, it's the new year. That means new goals, new routines, new promises that this year is going to finally be the year that you feel better, feel good about yourself. But if you're exhausted by noon, falling asleep on the couch after dinner, or wondering why the gym feels harder than it usually does, or why you just don't have that sex drive that you usually have. Well, I'm here to tell you, gentlemen, if you're dealing with everything I just listed, then you're dealing with low T. And there's treatments out there that can help. Specifically, if you go to Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, they're going to change the way you feel, man. They're experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. And they've successfully treated tens of thousands of men that are dealing with low T. And these men have seen amazing differences that these treatments can make in their life. So if you're just like these men that are dealing with low T, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return, the brain fog will go away, your sleep will improve, as will those workouts. And that sex drive that we all deserve to have will significantly be enhanced as well. All I need you to do is take the low T quiz on their website. It's a simple 10-question quiz full of yes or no answers. It takes 2 minutes to do. Then what you're going to do is schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They're going to draw your blood and have the results within 30 minutes. They also have 5 locations out there to serve you, so there are no excuses, gentlemen. Go get treated. You could go to Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. So give them a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Enjoy this run to the playoffs and be safe when you're going to the games or to parties. If you do get into an accident, make the right call to Flanagan Law. While the other guys blend in, I stand out. Look for the Shamrock. Flanagan Law, your advocate when you need it most.
Between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out how much you can save. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hey Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. You know, in the game of life, our most valuable asset is our health.
At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.